Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With our special guest tonight, Jack Benny. Yours truly, Toby Reed, Mel Blanc, Gail Gordon, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Life is a funny thing. Upon some men it bestows fame, fortune, and success, yet cruelly withholds from them the thing they long for most of all. In the city of Beverly Hills, California, live two such men, Jack Benny and George Burns. Each apparently successful, yet nursing in his heart a secret, unfulfilled ambition. What is Jack Benny's ambition? His dream? Listen.
Gee, when is the world going to recognize me for what I really am? A concert violinist.
Mr. Benny, please. The violin lesson is over. Now may I have my money?
Professor LeBlanc, tell me something honestly. What do you think of my playing? Now be frank.
You want the truth?
Yes.
First, give me the money for the lesson.
Look, I'm tired of being the comedian, the clown, the pagliacci.
Please, Mr. Benny, I must go. Get the money out.
Sure, it's brought me fame and riches, but when you're not happy, what good is gold? It's turned to lead in my pocket.
Mr. Benny, please, get the lead out.
If I could only be a concert.
And just a few blocks from this scene of frustration, we find the other man, George Burns. What is his secret ambition? Listen.
Boom, 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 down in the garden. Honey, oh, mine. I love you so. Love me like a flower, don't.
See, Gracie, if only the world would recognize my singing voice.
Well, it does, George. Everyone recognizes your singing voice.
Really?
Well, sure. It's after they recognize it that the trouble starts.
If for some reason my voice just doesn't seem to sell.
Well, lots of people think it does.
Think it sells?
Oh, sells! Oh, what fools they are. You have a beautiful voice.
You really think so?
Oh, yes. You sound like a nightingale flew down your throat and built a nest there.
I never get a chance.
Yeah, I know, dear. Just like Jack Benny with his violin.
Yeah. Look at that party we went to the other night with Jack. When I started to sing, what happened?
They tried to drown you out.
Yeah.
Only it's worse than it sounds. They tried to drown you out in the swimming pool.
Well, thank goodness Jack started to play about that time. His violin was really a lifesaver.
Oh, yes. When they threw that in the pool, it gave you both something to hang on to.
Why won't people take our music seriously?
Well, George, they won't accept Jack as a violinist because they think of him as a great comedian. And they won't accept you as a singer because they think of you as a great... whatever it is you are.
A pickle salesman.
It's so unfair, George.
Sell rhubarb on the side.
There were you and Jack.
Be careful, little horseradish.
No, George. There were you and Jack, loaded with musical talent, and all the crowd wanted to hear were those gypsy entertainers.
Well, those gypsies were good.
Not one bit better than you. I'll bet if you and Jack had been disguised as gypsies, the crowd would have... George! That's it.
Huh?
Why don't you and Jack disguise yourselves as gypsies and put on a concert?
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, it's a great idea. If people don't know that you're George Burns and Jack Benny, they might like you.
Well, thanks.
Now, Jack could be a gypsy violinist, and you could be a gypsy troubadour.
When a gypsy makes his violin cry.
Oh, you gypsy. When you sing, you not only make the violin cry, you make the whole orchestra bawl.
Maybe you've got something with the gypsy idea.
Oh, sure. Let's go talk to Jack about it.
People go for gypsies because they're romantic vagabonds. They've been roaming the earth for hundreds of years. Do you think Jack and I can put it over?
Absolutely. If I ever saw two men who looked like they've been roaming the earth for hundreds of years, it's you and Jack.
Come on, let's go over and talk to Jack.
Well, what do you think of the idea, Jack?
I can't do it, Gracie. When I achieve recognition as a violin player, I'll do it on one thing and one thing alone. Talent.
But, Jack, it's a great idea.
I'm sorry, George. I will not deceive my public by disguising myself as a ridiculous gypsy.
Jack, you can make a barrel of money.
Money?
Yes.
If we're gypsies?
Yes. I thought so.
Anyway, it's not a cheat, you know. I do have some gypsy blood in my veins.
Oh, really, Jack?
Yeah, of course, I only have a drop or two.
Oh. How much of it is gypsy?
The drop or two is gypsy. I have more. See, my father ran a gypsy tea room back in Waukegan. Sam Benny's Romany Rendezvous and Delicatessen. My mother used to go around to the tables and read the Rye Crisp.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Say, Jack, you and George can be gypsy brothers.
Oh, do we have to be brothers?
Well, brother acts are so popular in the theater. There's the Marx brothers and the Ritz brothers and the Mayo brothers.
The Mayo brothers are in the theater?
Well, they must be. People always talk about going to the Mayo brothers for an opening.
Abe Glassfogel handles their knives.
Oh.
You know, I'm glad you had this idea, Gracie. It sounds exciting, romantic. The Mysterious Gypsy Brothers. We'll rent the biggest hall in town and give a concert.
Yes, it'll be great, Jack. What if we do have to risk a little money to put into it?
Money?
Yes.
We risk it?
Yes. I was afraid of that.
Oh, wait a minute. I've got an idea. We'll get someone else to put up the money, huh?
Someone else?
Yeah.
You mean we won't risk anything?
Yeah, not a cent.
Well, we're in again. Yeah.
Now, I've brought you boys home to try on these gypsy costumes. Here, you spread this dark makeup on your faces while I finish curling your hair.
Gracie, is this necessary?
Of course, Jack. All gypsies have curly hair.
Well, okay.
There. Now, Jack, your hair is done. Put it back on.
Gee, it feels good. Still warm.
And now, George, I'll put a few waves in your hair, and then we'll put on the earrings.
Earrings?
Well, certainly all gypsies wear earrings. Now, hold still, Jack.
Hey, Gracie, these look like the gold earrings I gave Mary for Christmas.
They are. She insisted you wear them.
Oh, how sweet.
She wants to see how you look with green ears.
Look, these earrings happen to be solid gold. Some appreciation I get. She doesn't even keep them clean. They're all sticky.
Well, Mary says that was on there when you gave them to her. It's from the Cracker Jack.
Well, I'll be careful to wash off her birthday present before I give it to her.
Now, George, you put these other earrings on, and this sash.
Okay.
And, Jack, here are some beads to go around your neck. And now we'll put this scarf around your head. There.
I feel like Carmen Miranda.
You look wonderful. Come in.
Hi, Gracie.
Hello, Bill.
I just dropped by to say hello, and who are the two old babes?
Oh, fine.
Well, they're gypsies, Bill.
Oh, gypsy fortune tellers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, read my palm, honey.
Look, I'm Jack Benny.
Quit kidding, you're a gypsy fortune teller. Now read my palm.
I tell you, I can't read your palm. I'm Jack Benny.
Come on, honey, read my palm and I'll give you 50 cents.
I see a tall, dark woman entering She looks like Davy Marie. Now, hand over the money, handsome.
Look, Bill, this is really Jack Benny, and I'm George. We're going to give a gypsy concert.
Oh.
With that sad gypsy music. Let's show him, Jack.
Okay.
Are you holding anything back? No.
Oh, Chichavnia. Oh, Chisrasnia.
I held that back 15 years.
Bill, isn't that sad?
That is miserable.
You know, Gracie, I think it would look flashy if I had some gold rings on my fingers when I play. And I've given Mary a couple of beautiful ones. See if you can borrow them.
Oh, that will look flashy. Green fingers to match your ears. I'll be right back.
Bill, Jack and I will be a sensation if we can just get some publicity.
Well, I know a newspaper reporter. I'll send him over for a story.
Oh, thanks, Bill. And we'll give you a pair of complimentary tickets to our concert, right in the front row.
Well, Jack, I'd rather sit in the balcony.
But, Bill, you can bring your girl. You see, if you sit in the front row, she can appreciate my technique.
Well, if we sit in the balcony, she can appreciate mine.
Just send the reporter.
Yeah, come on, gypsies.
Come in.
How do you do? I'm a reporter from the news. I'd like to get a story about those two gypsies who are going to give a concert.
Oh, wonderful. What would you like to know?
Well, I understand they're brothers.
Yes, both boys.
Nice arrangement. Gypsies are supposed to be mystics. Do these boys have second sight?
Yes, they both wear glasses.
Yes. Can you tell me something about their background?
Well, it was very romantic. To begin with, they're gypsy kings because they were born, when they were born, they each weighed 20 pounds.
You mean...
King size.
I should have spotted. Now, what are their names?
Their names?
Yes.
What are some gypsy names?
Well, there's Misha and Sasha.
Oh, well, these are Georgia and Jacksha.
Are you sure these boys aren't just plain Americans?
Oh, no, they're straight from gypsy land. They're real gyps.
Hey, you're not kidding. So long, lady.
See, it feels good to get out of these gypsy costumes. You know, George, if we can just...
Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson. Jack, this is Mr. Judson from Texas.
How do you do?
Mr. Judson, this is Jack Benny.
Jack Benny? Why, say, ain't you the world's greatest radio comedian, stage star, and movie actor?
Yes.
Well, it sure is an honor to shake your hand, Mr. Benny. You're a right famous celebrity.
Well, thank you.
What part of Texas you from? Dallas? Houston?
No, I'm from Waukegan. Waukegan.
Jack, Mr. Judson is an oil millionaire. And he may want to put up some $5,000 to back our concert.
Well, now, I'd be right glad to put up $5,000 if Mr. Benny was from Texas, but he says he's from Waukegan?
Yes, Waukegan, Texas.
No, I don't recollect ever hearing of that town.
Waukegan, Texas? Well, you see, they might make it the capital, you know.
You don't say.
Yes, and the next governor will probably be my father, Sam Houston Benny.
Now, is that a fact?
And after he served a term as governor of Texas, he may be elected president of the United States.
Oh, well, now, I'd sure hate to see him step down to a less important job.
Mr. Judson, I've got a TL for you. The people who run this world don't come from Texas.
Yeah, and look what a mess they got it in.
Well, Mr. Judson, do I get the $5,000?
Well, now, that depends. What are you going to do in the concert, Mr. Benny?
Play the violin. I have my instrument with me if you'd care to hear a bit of technique.
Oh, I'd admire to. Scrape away. Wait a minute. Kind of hold on a minute. That's enough. You get the money.
Good.
Yeah, on one condition. You got to promise not to tell nobody you're from Texas.
Now, when do I get the $5,000?
Oh, I'd give it to you now, but I ain't got no small bills on me.
This kid is loaded with oil wells, you know.
Well, boys, have you... Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little lady.
Well, did you hear about the plans for the concert?
Yeah, and I'm going to put $5,000 into it.
My goodness, that much?
Oh, I can afford it, little lady. I made a pile of money from drilling.
Oh, you're a dentist, too.
Your sense of humor, man. I've seen you.
Bill, we called you back because our concert is all set and we want you to be master of ceremony.
Yes, Bill. Where do you think we should give the concert? Hollywood Bowl?
Well, I would definitely give it in the open air.
Well, show us how you'd handle the MC job, will you, Bill?
All right, Jack. How's this? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hollywood Bowl. Tonight you have a real treat in store.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
You are about to receive the thrill of a lifetime.
Good. Never mind. I'll get Don Wilson to announce us.
Don Wilson. Okay. No one will come to your concert anyway.
Oh, no? We'll fill Hollywood Bowl.
Well, maybe you're right. Don Wilson practically fills it alone.
Goodbye, comedian.
So long, troubadour.
Well, George, let's line up the concert. Now, I think you should open the show.
No, Jack. You open the show.
No, George, I insist. You open the show. I want them to hear your voice first. See?
Well, thank you.
So you walk out on the stage all alone.
Okay.
And introduce me.
Huh?
And I'll play my first number, then I'll introduce you.
Then I sing.
No, you announce my second number.
Look, how about giving me a crack at the third number?
Thanks, George, but I'll announce my own third number. Don't worry.
Jack, I should be the star of the concert.
Well, Mr. Judson sent over the $5,000. Have you got the concert lined up?
No, Gracie, there seems to be a difference of opinion about who should be the star.
Oh, but you boys are dear friends. George, tell Jack what you think of his violin playing.
Well...
Jack, tell George what you think of his singing. How dare you think that kind of language in front of a lady?
I apologize.
Me too.
Oh, besides, you're mistaken about George. There's no greater singer in the world than Sugar Throat.
Sugar Throat?
Yes.
Gracie, a seal makes the same noise and balances a ball on its nose.
You're wrong, Jack. George makes any song completely convincing. When he sings Old Folks at Home, he makes you think of your family.
Far from the old folks
Oh, brother.
Ah, you thought of your family?
Well, I'm going to be the star. After all, if it weren't for me, you couldn't even give this concert.
Why not?
Mr. Judson put up $5,000 because he thinks I stink, not you. That's why not.
Come in.
Mr. Benny, please. I followed you all the way over here. May I have the money for my lesson?
I'll pay you if you tell these people that I'm a great artist. Gracie, here's my French violin teacher who'll tell you what a great artist I am.
Bonjour.
That's a lie.
In my opinion, Mr. Benny is another zimbalist.
Well, then he should give up the violin and play the zimbal.
Gracie, surely the opinion of my French music teacher should settle the argument.
Oh, you think so, huh? Well, you wait right here. Now, have you got everything straight, Meredith?
Yes, Gracie. I am a famous Italian music teacher, and George is my star pupil.
Good. Now, let's go in there and show that Jack Benny up.
Good afternoon, Ola. Huh? I want to speak to Jack Ben.
That's probably me. Who are you?
I'm the big Italian music teach, Meredith W. Caruso.
Oh, no.
And I come to tell you that he's a great.
Who's a great?
He's a great.
Who's a he's a?
He's a who's a.
George?
That's my life. George the Burnser. I'm the teach. He's the pupil.
Is a what?
What's the matter? You don't understand English? I'm the teach. He's the pupil.
Well, part of that I go along with.
Well, thanks for dropping in, Mr. Caruso. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute. I remember him. Say, during the war, weren't you the leader of the Armed Forces Radio Service Orchestra?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought so. You were Major Wilson.
Yeah. I went in 42 as a major and came out in 45 as a second lieutenant.
Well, that's a record to be proud of.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Ben, just...
Down.
Well, it almost worked.
Look, George, let's stop trying to rook each other. If this silly concert is going to break up our friendship, let's forget it.
Maybe you're right, Jack. We'd probably make darn fools of ourselves as gypsies anyway.
Sure. Come on, I'll take you down to the corner and we'll get a cup of coffee.
No, Jack. I'll buy you the coffee.
That's what I meant. So long, Gracie.
Well, Gracie, I didn't get to sing in Hollywood Bowl, but I'm going to sing next week on Bing Crosby's Philco show.
Well, now there's a man who really appreciates your voice. Bing would rather listen to you than to any other singer.
He would?
Well, yes, Bing says that if Perry Como, Dick Haynes, and Frank Sinatra sang like you, he'd be completely happy.
Good night, Paul.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Hans Conried, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, George Burns is one of the millions of taxpayers who has until midnight tonight to file an income tax return, which explains the tense situation as we look in at the Burns home.
Now, let's see. Figuring our income on the basis of the community property law, that would make...
What law, George?
The community property law. That's the California law that says half of everything I've got is yours, and half of everything you've got is mine.
Oh? Then how come I only get 1/4 of the money we make?
Well, that's the way it works out, dear. Look, I'll show you. Here in my hand is $1 and change.
Yeah?
Now, half of everything I've got is yours. So here's 50 cents.
Ah, thank you.
Now, half of everything you've got is mine. How much have you got?
50 cents.
Half of it is mine. Hand it over. There. See how it works?
I see who it works. Now, let's try that again, and this time I'll start with $1.
Okay.
Now, half of everything I've got is yours. Here's 50 cents.
Thank you.
And how does the second part go?
Half of everything you've got is mine. How much have you got?
50 cents.
Half of it is mine. Hand it over.
Here.
Thanks.
You were right, George. It comes out the same way no matter how you do it.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I'll bet you get tired of me being so stupid, huh?
Now, sometimes it comes in real handy. Now, let me figure some of the income tax deductions. Let's see. Business expense.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, whenever we have a guest star on our program, we always take him to dinner. That's a business expense. Let's see. Now, we took Cary Grant to dinner.
But he paid the check, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did. Well, we took Bing Crosby to dinner.
He paid the check, remember?
Yeah, that's right. Well, last week we took Jack Benny to dinner.
That's one for us.
Yeah. Now we come to dependents. Total dependents and partial dependents. Gracie, what do I usually call your mother?
Surely you're not going to put that in writing.
I don't mean that. Does your mother live on just the money we send her?
Oh, she does right now. You see, my brother Willie got a job as a soda jerk, but he had to quit.
Why?
Well, a customer told him to squeeze a glass of orange juice.
Well?
And he squeezed the glass so hard it broke and cut his hand.
He's some soda jerk. In fact, you can leave off the soda. Now, let me finish this tax return. Come in.
Hi, Burns.
Hello, Bill.
Hey, what are you doing, George?
Trying to figure out my income tax.
And I'm helping him.
Some help. If it weren't for Gracie, I could figure my income tax out much easier.
If it weren't for Gracie, you wouldn't have any to figure.
Listen, Bill, I used to do all right. When I first met Gracie, I worked alone.
So she told me, George. Did you ever pay the loan back?
You better run along, Bobby Clark. I'm very busy.
Listen, George, why don't you hire an income tax expert to do that for you? Now, the guy I've got knows all the deductions an actor can make. He's wonderful.
Really?
Sure. Takes off your entertainment, your publicity, your transportation, even takes off your clothes.
George can undress himself.
I doubt it, Grace.
Look, I'll prove it. First I take...
And you know something else, George? If an actor hires a secretary to answer his fan mail, that's deductible. Well, I keep a secretary running all the time.
You do?
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to catch her.
In other words, you don't get enough fan mail to answer.
What? I get baskets of fan mail. Well, some of it even comes with just my initials on it. WHG.
William Horace Goodwin.
Oh, no. Woman's heavenly gift.
He's really a shy little boy.
Yeah, well, he's got a point, George.
Yes.
I think Bill is one of the handsomest actors in Hollywood.
Me?
Well, sure, and I know someone who thinks you're even better than that.
Me?
That's the one.
I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Bobby. I'll never get this tax return finished. It's so darn complicated.
Oh, look, George, here comes Mr. Judson, the Texas oil man.
Oh, fine. Now I'll have to stop and listen to him brag about Texas. Come in.
Howdy, little lady.
Hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little man. Hi. Say, you sound kind of depressed.
I am depressed. Right at this moment, I hate taxes.
Why, you miserable little
Oh,
Yankee.
Mr. Judson, put down that gun. He said taxes, not Texas.
Oh. For a minute there, I thought you had spoke treason. But now, you hadn't ought to hate taxes, neither.
I don't, Mr. Judson. It's just making out the return I hate. I'm glad to send my money to the government.
Me, too. It's a privilege to send your money to a city that's named after that great Texan, George Washington.
What makes you think George Washington was from Texas?
Well, wasn't he the father of our country?
Yeah.
Wasn't he first in war, first in peace?
Yes.
Wasn't he the greatest man we ever had?
Yes.
Bound to be from Texas.
Yes, he took his little hatchet and chopped down the cactus tree. Mr. Judson, I'll bet your income tax must be plenty with all your money.
Oh, what money? I only got $29 million.
Oh, I thought it was $28 million.
Yep. Went out and my wife run into a mite of trouble down home.
A little trouble?
Yep, yes, she did. The other night she was milking the cow, missed the bucket, a big stream of milk squirted into the ground, and up come another darned Allwell.
You call that trouble?
Why, it got oil all over old Bossy.
Oh, old Bossy. You have the cutest name for your wife.
Cutie.
Did you finish the income tax return, George?
No, I ran out of ink. So I called the drugstore, and they're going to send over a bottle.
Good.
By the way, that ink bottle was full last week. Where did it go?
Well, you know the blue socks I gave you for Christmas?
Yeah.
And your tan shoes didn't match them?
Yeah.
Now they match.
Gracie, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I was a fool to think you didn't. Go call the drugstore and tell them to hurry with the ink.
Yes, dear.
Why do I always leave this income tax till the last minute? Come in.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
I'm the delivery man from the drugstore.
Good, good. I've been waiting for that ink.
I just started today. In fact, you're my first delivery.
Well, that's nice.
I'm so happy with this job. You know why I'm happy with this job? It gives me a chance to help humanity. I deliver things that people need.
I need ink.
Now take this bottle of liver pills. I figure that's going to help somebody's liver.
Nice figuring.
I'm so happy with this job.
I'm happy that you're happy. Have you got my ink?
You bet I have. I deliver things that people need. Now take these corn plasters. Likely as not, they'll help somebody's corns.
Again, you figured it out.
I'm so happy with There's nothing in the whole world as wonderful as working for a drugstore. What business are you in, mister?
I'm on the radio.
Go to work for a drugstore before it's too late.
I'll speak to Mr. Owl in the morning.
Drugstores have things that people need. Now take your bottle of ink.
I'd love to.
Just think of its possibilities. You could write a famous play or an immortal poem.
I could if I had the ink.
Maybe you'll write a cheering note to one who is ill.
Maybe.
Or a love letter to a beautiful woman.
I happen to be married.
Oh. Then if you wrote a love letter to another woman, that would cause trouble.
You bet it would.
Your wife might find the letter in your pocket.
That's right.
And when she read it, she'd get mad and leave you.
Look, man.
And all because the drugstore made me deliver this ink. Well, they can't force me to come between a man and his wife. I won't do it. I'll quit this lousy job.
All right, but give me the ink.
And break up your home never. There. Your home is saved.
Well, that's fine. Now these shoes match my blue socks, too. Also the rug and the walls.
George, I thought Oh, my goodness. There's ink splashed all over the place.
Had a little accident.
Oh, there are even a couple of ugly blue spots on your face. Here, I'll wipe them all.
Take it easy. Those are my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Take this income tax stuff down to the expert in the Taft building and let him figure it out. And here's $50 to pay him. I'll go get a mop and clean up this mess.
$50 just to make out income tax? Oh, that's ridiculous. I can buy one of those dollar tax books and do it myself. That'll save George $49. And think what he could buy with $49. Hat, gloves, shoes, coat. Why, he can buy me lots of things. I'll do it. Dr. Miller, I just had to come by. I have some wonderful news for you.
What is it, Gracie?
Well, you know those treatments you've been giving me where I lie on the couch and tell you all about myself?
Psychoanalysis, yes. I treated your mind.
Well, you certainly helped me.
How could I miss? Any change was bound to be an improvement.
Oh, you'll be proud of me. I just did a brilliant thing. I figured out George's income tax.
Well, you are cured. No more of those long hours on the couch.
And guess how the income tax came out? The government owes George $30 million.
I'll arrange the pillows on the couch.
Oh, no, I'm not tired.
Gracie, how did you arrive at that terrific figure?
Oh, no starches and lots of exercise.
I mean George's income tax figure.
Oh, well, I bought a book on income tax and found out all the deductions. Now, for example, the book said that an actor can deduct up to $500 for dues.
Yes?
Well, in California, we have dues every morning.
Gracie.
And at $500 a due, that adds up.
Gracie, these dues are not the liquid kind.
Oh, no? I've stood knee-deep in California dues.
Even with deductions like that, how could you possibly arrive at $30 million?
Oh, well, of course, the big item was entertainment. The book says if an actor entertains people in the course of his business, that's deductible. And it's the rate of $2 per person.
Well?
Well, every time George goes on the radio, he entertains 20 million people.
This is unbelievable.
Well, now that's $40 million right there. But I know the government needs money, so I knocked off $10 million.
Well, it's awfully nice out here.
Yeah, live and let live. $30 million is plenty. Do you realize what this will mean to George, Doctor?
Yes, I think I do, Gracie. Speaking as a psychiatrist, I would say that George will develop a pronounced isolation complex induced by extended incarceration and complicated by severe claustrophobia due to prolonged inability to alter his environment.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
They'll throw him in the clink.
The clink?
Yeah, they'll put him in Alcatraz. You falsified his tax form.
Yeah. Oh, this is terrible. But he's not to blame. Let them send me away to wherever they send women.
To Hatchapee.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. It's George's return. Therefore, they'll hold George responsible.
Well, how long will they keep George in Alcatraz?
Oh, it's hard to say, Gracie. I know a man who defrauded the government of only $20, and he was sent away for 20 years.
20 years for $20?
No.
And sure, in George's case, it's $30 million. Boy, will he be old when he gets out. Well, maybe it's not too late to save George. I'll appeal to the governor.
Oh, that won't do any good.
Oh, then I'll appeal to his wife, the governess.
Gracie, nothing can save George from Alcatraz.
Oh, dear. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll soften the blow for him. I'll make it sound attractive.
Attractive?
Well, sure. It'll be like a daytime radio serial. Alcatraz can be beautiful.
Gracie, it's an island, a prison with bars, a big ugly rock. How can you say that's beautiful?
Well, love will show me the way. When you're in love, you can imagine the ugliest thing in the world is beautiful. And I'm in love with George.
Good luck, Gracie.
George.
Yes, dear?
George, how would you like to live on an island?
An island?
Yes, in the blue Pacific.
Might be nice. An island with palm trees.
Yeah.
And sandbars.
Take away the sand and you've got it.
Huh?
Oh, it's a beautiful place. Once you're there, you just can't leave.
Holds you in its spell, huh?
Did you say spell or sell?
Spell.
Oh, sure.
I love the ocean. It would be nice to lie there and listen to the breakers pounding on the rocks.
Yes, making little ones out of big ones.
Huh?
Oh, you love this island, dear. The change will do you good. Now, for instance, don't you get tired of people always calling you George?
I never thought of it.
Well, now, on this island, they call you something else.
Like what?
Like 7293.
7293?
Yes, and your closest friends could call you 7.
7G Burns, eh? Gracie, this island is beginning to sound a little wild. Besides, I like the modern conveniences. Does this island have electric lights, electric stoves, electric refrigerators?
Even the chairs are wired.
The chairs are wired? Where is this place?
Hello, all. Gee, Bill Goodwin just told me the terrible news. He said that George is going...
No, Meredith, don't say it in front of George.
Very well. He said that George was going to the PEN.
PEN?
Because he defrauded the government on his income TAX.
I'm going to the pen because of my income tax?
Darn it, he caught on despite my precautions.
Gracie.
Wouldn't you like to live on an
Stop
island
that.
here?
How could I get into trouble on my income tax? It was made out by an expert.
Oh, thanks, but I don't deserve the compliment.
You made it out?
Mm-hmm.
Holy smoke, I'll go to jail for the rest of my life.
Oh, cheer up, George. I knew a chap who was sent to prison for a crime more serious than yours, and he was only there for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes. Then they hung him.
Nice of you to cheer me up.
Oh, not at all. Another cheering thought is that Gracie might enable you to escape by sending you a cake with a file in it.
No, that wouldn't help much, Meredith. You see, George is going to Alcatraz, and it's surrounded by water.
Oh. Well, you might send a somewhat larger cake with a canoe in it.
Look, Meredith, will you please tell me... come in.
Is Mr. George Burns here?
That's me.
I'm from the income tax department.
Oh.
Oh, goodbye, 7.
Listen, mister, I can explain everything. You see, my wife is...
Now, there's nothing to explain, Mr. Burns. I just came over to thank you.
Thank me?
Sure. Imagine a big star like you taking the time and trouble to write a comedy tax return just to hand us fellows a laugh.
Huh?
What a gag that was about the California dues.
Did you like that one?
You're a real comedian, Mr. Burns. How do you think of that stuff?
Oh, it's just a gift.
Well, the fellows wanted me to bring over this box of cigars as a token of our appreciation. Thanks again, and goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, I'll be done.
Hand over those cigars.
Huh?
They're mine, and I'll smoke them if it kills me.
Well, Gracie, I've got good news for you. Next week, our guest will be Walter O'Keefe.
Walter O'Keefe? Oh, he's my favorite comedian.
Your favorite comedian?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you forgetting me?
Oh, that's right, I am.
Sure.
He's your favorite, too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Good night, everybody.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With our our special guests tonight, Walter O'Keefe, yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliott Lewis, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find Gracie telling George some exciting news.
George, you know who just telephoned? Walter O'Keefe.
Walter O'Keefe?
Uh-huh.
Is he in town?
Yes, he's coming over this afternoon.
Gosh, I haven't seen him since we played in vaudeville together.
Oh, well, I knew him even before you did, George.
I didn't know that.
We grew up in the same Irish neighborhood back in San Francisco.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In fact, I had quite a high school crush on Walter. I hope you're not jealous, dear.
Don't be silly. Why should I be jealous of your high school sweetheart?
You went to high school.
Well, I'll be tickled to death to see Walter. What times we had in vaudeville. We were both young, handsome lady killers. Boy, did we have a technique with the women. Naturally, that was before I met you, dear.
Mm-hmm. Don't rub it in.
But Walter got married, and I followed suit. And then vaudeville kind of pooped out.
And then you followed suit. I mean, you switched over to radio just like Walter did.
Hey, that's right. Walter's got a swell show on the air, Double or Nothing. Sponsored by Campbell's Tomato Juice. Oh, you're not laughing at me.
No.
That's something else. What's funny?
Oh, I was just thinking what a change it is for him.
Yes.
Now he gets tomato juice, and vaudeville used to get the whole tomato.
Well, I had a pretty good act in vaudeville. Copied my songs in snappy patter.
Mm-hmm.
Even tried to copy my clothes.
Really?
Say, that reminds me, Gracie. Phone him to clean and tell him to rush over my good suit. I want to look my best for Walter.
All right, dear.
He always used to admire the suit I wore in vaudeville. I want him to admire the suit I wear today.
Well, he should. It's the same suit.
Call the cleaner.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, boy, we're going to have fun talking about the old days. Poor Gracie, she'll be left out of it. Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson. How are things in Texas?
Excuse me while I take off my hat. Now, would you say that again?
Why?
When the name Texas is spoke, I like to have my head bared.
I see. Well, stick around and meet a celebrity who's coming over, Walter O'Keefe. You've probably seen him on the stage in New York.
No, I've never been to New York.
Well, maybe you saw him in Chicago.
Never been there, neither.
Haven't you even been to Kansas City?
No.
Mr. Judson, you're a millionaire. You can afford to travel to see the wonders of the world. How come you've spent your whole life stuck in Texas?
I guess I'm just lucky.
You like that state, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Say, you ought to visit me sometime and see it for yourself. We could sit there under the laughing willows and fish.
Laughing willows? Don't you mean weeping willows?
In Texas?
They laugh in Texas.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I give up. Yeah. And
well, you know, we got some mighty fine catfish down there.
Well, George, I called it... Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Well, howdy, little lady. Say, I was just inviting your husband to come down to Texas and do a little catfishing.
Catfishing? Oh, how wonderful. Oh, I hope he catches one of those beautiful long-haired Persians.
You hope he catches one.
I dug out these souvenirs of my high school days with Walter to show him. Here's a picture of our football team. Walter was the captain.
Boy, get a look at those Irish pusses. Are all those souvenirs of Walter?
Oh, no. Lots of other boys, too. See, here are letters from boys and pictures of boys and presents from boys and notes from boys.
You were sort of boy crazy, weren't you?
Well, all girls are at that age, George. It's normal and healthy. And I was even healthier than most of them.
You're not kidding. Well, I don't have any souvenirs of my vaudeville days with Walter, but we'll have plenty to talk about. Oh, I remember there was an act on the bill with us called Fink's Mule.
I used to come on right after them.
Oh, yes, they were on the bill the first day I ever saw you. Oh, those mules are the biggest ears I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that big ears, yes.
Yeah. Then you came on the stage.
Gracie, the way you said that, it sounds like my ears are bigger than the mule.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Turn around and let me look at them.
Well?
What do we talk about now?
Never mind. Just call the cleaner again and tell him to get my suit over here.
Yes, dear.
Those guys are late when you need them. Oh, darn it. That's probably Walter already. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Burns. I brought your suit from the cleaner.
Well, good. I've been waiting for my suit. You can... Hey, aren't you the fellow who delivered some ink from the drugstore last night?
That's right.
And you got mad and threw ink all over the place and quit your job?
Well, that wasn't the real me, Mr. Burns. I was upset because I hadn't found my proper spot in life.
But you're okay now.
Well, yes, I've achieved my goal. Working for a cleaner. I'm a changed man.
I hope so.
I'm so happy with this job.
Well, good.
It's wonderful to work for a cleaner. Makes me feel clean.
Well, now, if you'll give me my...
It gives me a chance to spread sunshine and joy.
Fine.
Just before I came here, I delivered a party dress to a young girl. She'll probably wear that dress to a party.
A brilliant deduction.
I'm so happy with this job.
Bully for you. Bully.
Another article of clothing I delivered was a smoking jacket. And you know what the happy owner will do when he puts on that smoking jacket?
He'll die Easter egg.
No, I figure he'll smoke.
Another flash.
I'm so happy with it.
Happy schmappy. I'd like my suit.
Cleaner gives people so much pleasure. Now take this suit of yours.
Gladly.
It's spotless, immaculate, beautifully pressed. When you walk down the street, you'll feel like a king among men.
Not if I haven't got a suit on.
You'll be proud as a peacock as you stride along, a picture of sartorial splendor.
Yeah. All my friends will envy me.
That's right, they will. You'll be much better dressed.
Yeah, give me the suit. There you see.
They'll look at this suit and feel that you're more successful than they are, that you're above them.
Just give me the coat.
And you'll feel superior to them because they're shabbily dressed.
I'll take the pants.
You'll sneer at them. You'll walk right past your old friends and leave them standing there with their hands outstretched, tears streaming down their faces.
I'll settle for the vest.
You'll cast aside your old friends, and all because the cleaner made me deliver the suit. Well, they can't force me to come between a man and his friends. I won't do it. I'll quit this stinking job.
Please give me the suit.
And turn you into a heel? Never! There. Now you'll have friends again. Goodbye.
Oh, look, George, there's Walter O'Keefe just driving up in front of the house.
Well, now, Gracie, you go play bridge with the girl. When Walter and I get to talking about the old days in vaudeville with Fink's Mules and the Empire City Quartet and all that, we may gab until midnight. And you'll just be sitting there.
Well, at least let me stay long enough to say hello to him.
Okay, suit yourself, but I warn you. Come in! Walter!
Gracie!
Gracie, don't move. Just stand there a minute and let me look at you.
Like this?
Mm-hmm. You haven't changed a bit. You're just as beautiful as ever.
Oh, and you've only seen one side of me. Shall I turn around?
No, I'm convinced.
Walter, here's the rest of the family. You remember him?
No, I don't believe I ever met your father. Father? How do you do, sir?
Oh, no, Walter. He's my husband.
Yeah, Walter, we were in vaudeville together. Take another look at me.
Your face is familiar. Did you work for a fellow named Fink?
No, I'm George Burns, remember?
Oh, sure, I place you now. You're the juggler.
The Juggler?
Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
I'm not a juggler. I was never a juggler.
I just can't believe you're a married woman. Why, you don't look a day older than when we were kids together back on Kilpatrick Street. Your eyes still have the sparkle of the lakes of Killarney.
I'll go along with you, Blarney, Walter O'Keefe.
'Tis not for you to be calling it Blarney, now, Gracie. 'Tisn't the way for O'Keefe to be flattered when he was sprouting that way every woman he meets.
Oh, it
Tisn't it, sure as tisn't.
isn't.
It's the truth I'm telling you. The prettiest girl these eyes have ever set me eyes upon.
Tis?
Sure it is.
Tisn't.
Tis true.
Tisn't.
All right, then, tisn't.
Tis too.
Look, folks.
Oh, my goodness, Walter. I'm afraid we're leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
Look, I was never a juggler in my
Gracie,
life.
speaking of your husband juggling, remember Jughead Riley?
I was never a juggler.
Oh, sure, good old Jughead. He was a big fat fellow, wasn't he?
No, that was Fatso Finnegan.
Oh, that's right. Good old Fatso.
Whatever became of him?
Well, he married Jughead Riley's sister.
Really? Wasn't she a tall, good-looking girl by the name of Annie?
No. You're thinking of Annie O'Toole, who married Spud Murphy.
Oh, good old Spud. He was the short, stocky fellow with the mole.
No, that was Knuckles Dugan.
Look, folks.
He married Fatso Finnegan's sister Sheila. You know, cute little girl who was bow-legged.
No, you're thinking of Mike O'Meara's sister Fanny. She married Tim McGonigal.
Oh, that's right. Good old Tim.
Look, folks.
Oh, wasn't he the stout boy with the buck teeth?
No, that was Fatso Finnegan.
Oh, sure, good old Fatso. Whatever became of him?
He married Jughead Riley's sister.
Oh.
My name is Burns.
What?
George Burns. I'm married to Fatso Finnegan.
Oh, my goodness, Walter. I'm afraid we're leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
I'm not a juggler.
Oh, no. George is a comedian. Nobody can tell a joke like he can.
Well, thanks, dear.
George, tell Walter the joke about the moron who went through the screen door and strained himself.
Tell it? You just told the whole...
Go ahead, dear. Tell it.
A moron went through a screen door and strained himself.
You don't juggle at all, huh?
No.
You know who George reminds me of, Walter? Don Quinn. Wasn't he a circus?
Yeah, remember what he said to the waitress that time she spilled the soup down his back?
Oh, I'll say I do.
What did he say? What did he say?
I died.
I never heard anything so funny in my life.
Well, what did he say? What did he say? What did he say?
Listen, I think it was the best crack that Don ever made.
What did he say?
I forget. What did he say, Walter?
I don't remember it.
Oh, but I wish you could have been there, George.
I wish I were there now.
Oh, my goodness, Walter. I'm afraid we're leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
Now, look, I'm not a juggler.
Isn't it a small world, Gracie? Don Quinn went around with a lady juggler.
Really? How many ladies did he juggle?
No. He went around with a lady juggler named Katie Connolly. Later married her.
Oh, I thought Katie Connolly married Pat Houlihan.
No, Pat Houlihan married Maggie Malone.
No. Maggie Malone married Johnny Doyle.
Anybody know Sam Newman?
Gracie, did you say Johnny Doyle?
Oh, yes. Don't you remember Pug-Nose Doyle?
Oh, sure. Now I remember him.
Well, today he's an alderman.
No.
Yes.
Look.
And remember Tommy Fitzpatrick?
Tony Fitzpatrick. Of course I remember him.
Well, he's a police captain now.
No.
Yes.
Look.
And remember Frank Gallagher?
Frank Gallagher?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't.
Wait a minute. I remember Frank Gallagher. You introduced me to him. What about him?
Nothing ever happened to him.
Oh, no.
leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
Fine. The juggling game is fine. Would you folks like some potato chips?
Potato chips. You know, that reminds me, Gracie. Whatever became of Chip O'Connor?
I couldn't have picked Dill Pickles.
Oh, Chip married a girl named Sadie Dill, a real pickle puss.
Nothing would have helped me.
You did, Gracie. I'm afraid we're leaving your husband out of this conversation.
Oh, so we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game? Walter, do you remember Moose O'Malley?
Yeah, good old Moose. There was a real football player. The greatest San Francisco ever had.
Oh, no, Walter. You were the greatest.
No, Moose was the greatest.
No, you were the greatest.
I used to play football.
No, Moose was the greatest. A finer football player never lived.
I used to play football.
You know, our whole team was awfully good, and I remember the name of every boy on it.
So do I, Gracie.
There was O'Keefe.
O'Malley.
O'Brien.
O'Toole.
O'Rourke.
O'Connor.
O'Dowd.
O'Hare.
O'Leary.
O'Shea.
And Yakoblonsky.
I used to play football.
What a team. Every boy on it had the same ambition. To go to Notre Dame and play for the Fighting Irish.
Yes.
But the only one who made it was Yakoblonsky. Oh, but Moose was the greatest.
I blew up a bank today.
You know, it's too bad Moose didn't make it.
Yeah, good old Moose.
Shot the cashier.
What did you say, dear?
Killed a man and blew up a bank.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
Walter, whatever happened to Moose?
He married Jenny Donnelly.
Really? I thought Jenny married Muggsy Casey.
No, Muggsy married Casey Cahagan.
Oh, what's the use?
Oh, Walter, I'm afraid we're leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well, Burns, how's the juggling game?
Fine. Just had my Indian clubs painted. How was the juggling? I'll answer.
Oh, no, let me go, dear. I don't want to interrupt your conversation with Walter.
Oh, never mind. We're almost talked out. I'll go.
Hi, George.
Wait a minute, though. Do you know any Irish people in San Francisco?
No.
Ever play football with a character named Moose O'Malley?
No.
Okay, you can come in.
What's up, George?
For 3 hours, I've been listening to Gracie and Walter O'Keefe talk about old times. I can't get a word in.
Oh. Well, George, let's give them a dose of their own medicine. We'll carry on the conversation and leave them out of it.
Well, what do we talk about?
Well, we can talk about this gorgeous girl I just met.
Hold it. Does she have an Irish name?
No. Her name is Olga Swenson.
Good. They can't fool around with that one.
No. I tell you, I met her in the park taking her pet for a walk, a beautiful dog. Well, you know me, George, crazy about animals. So I puckered up my lips to whistle at the dog, and Olga moved in on the pucker.
I say.
So you and I will go in there and talk about Olga.
And her pet.
Or sure do.
The dog.
Yes.
What's got to laugh?
Well, you just give me a cue, George. You say, what do you hear from Olga, and we'll start talking.
What do you hear from Olga?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come on, guys.
Oh, hello, Bill. You know Walter O'Keefe?
Oh, sure. Hello, Walter. Hello, Bill.
Bill, what do you hear from Olga?
Olga?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you.
Bill, look at me. Let's you and I talk about Olga.
Olga?
Yes.
Oh, yes, the girl with the dog.
Yes.
Okay, George.
What kind of a dog have you got, Bill?
Irish setter. Irish setter? Say, Gracie, do you remember
I'm coming. Oh, hello, Meredith.
I've just come from Griffith Park where I played the flute for my feathered friends. Those are birds.
Haven't got enough trouble.
Well, today my music proved so enticing that a woodpecker flew down and sat on my shoulder.
Woodpecker, huh?
Yeah. Could you recommend something for a hole in the head?
Look, take that flute and get... Wait a minute. If you played the flute right now, I could sing with you.
You certainly could.
And they couldn't talk. Meredith, I could kiss you.
Wouldn't you rather sing with me?
Yeah. Come on in.
Hello, Meredith.
Oh, hello, Gracie.
Meredith Wilson, Waldo Keith.
Glad to meet you. Same here. Meredith brought his flute along and wants me to sing.
Ah, but George, if you sing, Gracie and I can't talk.
I'll now sing 15 or 20 numbers. Meredith, we'll start with April Shower.
Okay, I'm seeing.
Though April showers.
Walter, remember the shower we gave Kim Cassidy?
Sure, when she got married to Ted Hogan.
Yes, that's right. Wasn't it fun when we all gathered around the piano and sang, if you would like to see the height of hospitality,
The cream of kindly welcome and the call of cordiality. Joys of the old time, wishing to recall again. Come down to Gwendolen's and there you see them all again. Yeah.
Oh, April showers make way.
I just thought of another Irish song. Do you know Phil the Fluter's
Out,
Ball?
out. Benedict Arnold.
Gracie, remember good old Benny Arnold? He married Moose O'Malley's sister.
Oh, no, Walter. Moose O'Malley's sister married Jughead Riley.
We're back to Jughead Riley.
Oh,
again.
Walter, I'm afraid we're leaving George out of the conversation.
So we are. Well,
The
Bert.
juggling game is fine.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Hans Conried, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, B. Benaderet, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find Gracie talking to her friend and neighbor, Mrs. Morton.
I tell you, Gracie, it's wonderful. Every husband and wife should take a vacation from one another now and then.
But why, Blanche?
After so long a time, the husband starts getting on your nerves. Now, take Harry and me. I said to myself, I can't stand one more look at that big, ugly ape.
My.
Then we took this vacation from one another. And you know something, Gracie?
What?
Now I can look at the big, ugly ape. You ought to try it on George.
But we don't need a vacation.
All married people do. They see too much of one another.
Well, I don't see too much of George. Especially not in this cold weather when he wears his long underwear. All I see are his nose and toes.
Listen, Gracie, sooner or later, any husband gets on your nerves. If you were married to President Truman, he'd get on your nerves. If you were married to Clark Gable, he'd get on your nerves. If you were...
Wait a minute. I'd like to stay married to Gable a little longer.
There's no two ways about it, Gracie. Married people have got to take a vacation from one another every so often. If they don't, they start nagging, picking at one another.
Oh, not judging me.
Now think, Gracie. Doesn't George do a lot of backbiting?
Oh, my goodness, no. He pinches me now and then.
Listen, Gracie, you may not realize it, but George nags at you just like every other husband. He picks at you, bullies you.
No, he doesn't, Blanche.
Oh, no? How long have you been married?
14 years.
Ha! I tell you, Gracie, if you'll just look for it, you'll find plenty to quarrel with George about.
But really, Blanche, I can't.
You're not trying. Look for the hidden meaning in what he says to you. Those little subtle slams and digs. Why, he's treating you like a dog, and you don't even know it.
He is?
Certainly.
Well, he can't get away with that.
Atta girl.
Oh, just wait till he comes home. I'll fix him.
Now you're talking.
Oh, I'll teach him to nag me after I've given him the best years of my life.
Hello, sugar.
Nagging, always nagging.
Huh?
I can't stand it any longer.
Well, I called you sugar.
Oh, sure. It was your sneaky way of saying my figure's getting lumpy.
That's not true. You've never been slimmer in your life.
Oh, I'm just a bag of bones, huh?
Gracie, something has gotten into you.
Now I'm lumpy again.
I mean, you're not yourself.
How dare you talk to a strange woman?
Look, would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Oh, I can't stand it any longer, George. You always nag me, pick at me, bully me.
No, I don't.
Oh, no? How long have we been married?
14 years. What does that mean?
I don't know, but it was very convincing when I heard it.
Look, Gracie.
Let's face it, George. We're getting on one another's nerves.
Maybe I'm getting on your nerves, but you're not getting on my nerves.
Oh, you see? You're even too selfish to let me on.
Now, wait a minute.
Unless we're careful, I can see what the future holds for us. I'll pack up and leave you. I'll go to Reno. I'll get a divorce. I'll find another husband. Things like that can break up our marriage.
Gracie, are you serious?
Yes, dear. There's only one solution. We've got to take a vacation from one another.
But, darling, I couldn't stand it without you. I love you. I adore you. You're part of me.
Nagging, always nagging.
I said you're part of me.
Well, if I'm part of you, I'm lumpy again. But we can't go on this way, fighting, bickering, spitting at each other like cats.
We don't do that.
We do, too. If we don't take this vacation from each other, our marriage will go... You see, we're spitting at each other.
Look, do you mind if I sit down? This whole thing is making me a little dizzy.
Now, look, George. Here comes Mr. Judson, the Texas oil man. Maybe you could vacation on his ranch.
I don't want a vacation. And I don't think you're going to have a vacation.
Come in.
Howdy, little lady.
Hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little man.
Hiya, Tex.
You know, I was just telling George that he ought to take a vacation in Texas, but he doesn't want to.
What?
No, don't get excited. I think Texas is beautiful.
How dare you sit there and say that Texas is beautiful?
Isn't it?
Yeah, but when you speak that name, stand up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's better. Much better. Yes, sir. Now, for a real vacation, you come down to my home state. You ain't lived till you've seen Texas. And I can tell by the way you look that you ain't seen it.
Look, Mr. Judson, you don't have to sing the praises of Texas.
Now, you're right. You're right, little man. I don't. There's been many a fine song wrote that does that for me. My blue Texas, under Texas
Wait a minute.
moon.
Hold it. My blue Texas? Isn't it my blue heaven?
Same thing. You know the song I mean. It's just Molly and me and the babies make 23.
Oh, no, Mr. Judson. That's just Molly and me and the baby makes 3.
Not in Texas.
Well, I've got news for you. I'm not taking a vacation in Texas or anyplace else. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't afford it. I'm not as rich as you are.
Rich? Why, I only got 30 million.
Last time I saw you, you had 29.
Yeah? Well, my wife had a little hard luck.
What trouble, huh?
Yes, she did. Yes, she sure had hard luck. She went out to the garden to get a radish, yanked out one with extra long roots, and up come another darned Orwell. The radish give my wife indigestion.
Oh, my goodness, she really hit the jackpot. From one radish, she got oil and gas.
She got oil and...
Well, when Gracie gets sold on an idea, nothing can budge her. And Mrs. Morton has sold her on the idea that all married couples need to take vacations from one another.
Well, we've got to do it, George. It's the only way we can be happy.
But, Gracie, that's ridiculous. I love you.
Oh, I love you.
I worship you.
I worship you.
Every moment I spend with you is a joy.
Every moment I spend with you is a joy.
Then why are we separated?
So we can be happy.
Oh, what's the use?
George, be sensible about this thing. After so long a time, a husband just naturally becomes neglectful.
But, Gracie, I haven't neglected you.
Huh? Did you give me a present on our anniversary?
Certainly.
Did you give me a present at Christmas?
Of course.
Did you give me a present on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Did you give me a present on Lincoln's birthday?
Lincoln's birthday? No. What am I supposed to give you on Lincoln's birthday?
A Lincoln.
Look, Gracie.
We need a vacation, George.
This is murder. Let me... Come in. Hello.
Oh, hello, Meredith.
Hello, Meredith. Say, Meredith, maybe you can reason with Gracie. You two have got heads just alike.
Well, I believe her hair's a little longer than mine.
Just barely. Look, Meredith, I'm in trouble. Gracie thinks we should separate for a while.
Oh, golly. Before you do a thing like that, let me tell you a story about a couple in Mason City, Iowa. This fellow was having trouble with the crows stealing his corn. He put scarecrow after scarecrow out in the field, but it did no good. Then one day he had his wife stand out in the cornfield. Well, sir, not only did the crows stop stealing the corn, but they brought back corn they stole 3 years ago.
What's that got to do with Gracie and me separating?
Nothing, but I wanted to tell the story while you were both still here.
You're a big help.
Oh, well, no matter what he said, it wouldn't help because I've made up my mind.
Golly, there must be some way to keep you two from separating. They say that children can hold a husband and wife together. Say, that's it.
What's it?
You may adopt me as your son.
Look, stupid.
Yes, Daddy?
Don't call me Daddy.
Very well, Papa.
Oh, scram.
Oh, please, George. Let me be your son. Think how wonderful it would sound at night to hear the patter of little feet in my room.
Your feet aren't little.
No, but I intend to bring along my white mice.
Out. Now listen, Gracie. If you forget this vacation idea, I'll buy you a new hat.
A new hat?
A new hat.
Black straw with a wide brim?
With a wide brim.
With ostrich feathers?
Ostrich feathers.
Covered with fruit and long veil?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be caught dead in a hat like that.
I give up.
Well, I'll go pack your things, dear. What will you need?
Just a jacket.
What kind of a jacket? Sport?
No, straight.
What? Oh, I didn't know you had a straight jacket. I'd like to see you in it sometime.
It's a matter of hours. I'll be there anyway.
Well, you'll need more than that. I'll go pack you a bag.
Well, I gotta stop this vacation idea. It'll make us both miserable. I wonder if I could do it if I suddenly became very attentive and gave her flowers. Or better yet, a gold wristwatch. Or a diamond bracelet. Or a fur coat. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll give her flowers. I'll have them sent right over. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Burns. I have some flowers for you.
Wonderful. They may save my happy home. Just put them in the... Hey, aren't you the same fellow who delivered the ink from the drugstore and the suit from the cleaner?
That's right.
And you got mad and broke up the ink and tore up my suit?
Now, don't hold me responsible for that, Mr. Burns. I was unhappy in my work. But now I've found the perfect job, delivering flowers. Sweet, fragrant flowers Mother Nature sends them.
Well, that's fine.
I'm so happy with this job.
Well, it's nice you're happy with your work. Now, let's have the flowers.
Oh, don't call it work. Delivering flowers is fun. As I stride along, I open the box and inhale their fragrance. I smell from one end of town to the other.
Look, I'd like the flowers.
I'm so happy with this job.
Happy, snappy, hand over the flowers.
I bless the day I started delivering flowers. I bring joy to old and young.
Well, I'm old and my wife is young. Bring us some joy.
I'm so happy with this job.
Makes you happy.
Do you know what gives flowers their fragrance? It's the pollen you sniff.
Well, my wife will sniff the pollen. I promise you. Just give me
Wait a minute. Some people are allergic to pollen. If your wife sniffs it, it might give her hay fever.
Look,
her eyes will water. Her nose will run. She'll sneeze.
Gesundheit to give me the flowers.
She'll be miserable. She won't be able to breathe. She won't be able to eat or sleep.
Look, mister.
She'll waste away to skin and bone. They'll take her to the hospital.
Mister.
She'll lie there in agony, hovering between life and death.
Mister.
And all because the florist made me deliver these stinking flowers.
Look,
well, they can't force me to ruin a woman's health. I won't do it. I'll quit this lousy job.
Please give me the flowers.
And murder your wife? Never. I'll trample him into the dust. I'll stop him. There. I've saved her life. Goodbye.
I'll have your bags packed in just a moment, dear. I've decided you should go to Palm Springs.
But, honey, I don't want to go.
Oh, now, dear, it's the only way to save our marriage, and besides, you'll love it there. That's where I went to get those beautiful grapefruit and dates at Christmas time. Oh, I remember driving through a town called 28 Palms.
They call the place 29 Palms.
Not after I drove through.
You hit one.
Well, it was lying right across the main street.
And why didn't you see it?
It wasn't lying there till I hit it.
Look, Gracie, I don't want to be away from you. We're happy. We're compatible. We've got so much to hold us together. Now, why should we... Come in.
Hi, Burns.
Hello, Bill.
Bill, maybe you can help me convince Gracie.
Convince her of what, George?
That we have so much to hold us together.
Oh, well, she has, but I never could figure out what's holding you together.
Thanks for the help, comedian.
Bill, you misunderstood. I think our marriage will be happier if George goes away.
Well, but Gracie, if George goes away, something terrible might happen.
What?
Well, he might come back.
Do you think Hope will ever quit and give you a spot?
Well, nevertheless, Bill, he's going to Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, huh? You know, I was there last week. What a wonderful spot. Sunshine, palm trees. I came back with a carload of grapefruit and oranges.
Did you bring back any dates?
No, my motto is love 'em and leave 'em.
Gracie means the kind of dates you pick up on the palm tree.
Oh, I picked up most of mine on street corners.
No, Bill, I mean the kind of dates you stuff.
That's the kind I mean, Gracie. They ate like crazy.
Bill, we're talking about the dates you see stacked in a market.
I saw some in the market, and boy, were they
stacked! Bill, see if you can get this vacation idea out of Gracie's head.
Okay, George. Gracie, let George stay home.
Yeah.
He'll be miserable at Palm Springs.
Yeah.
It's no place for a man like him.
Yeah.
It's full of gorgeous girls in bathing suits.
Yeah? Hey, that's not a bad...
George Burns! That settles it. You are not going to Palm Springs.
Well, hallelujah. That ends the vacation.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to Palm Springs.
It doesn't end it.
Come on, dear. We'll take your things out of this bag and put mine in. Let's see. Cold cream, wrinkle cream, chin strap, nightgown, and girdle. There, your things are out.
There must be some way to talk you out of this. I'll be right back. I hate to bother you so often, Dr. Miller, but Gracie has got another of those notions that only a psychiatrist can straighten out.
What is it this time, George?
She thinks husbands and wives can be happy unless they vacation from one another.
Probably a childhood fixation. Perhaps a parent quarrel, had differences. You send Gracie over and I'll question her.
Thanks, Doc. Those screwy ideas of hers drive me nuts. Honestly, sometimes I wonder why I ever married her.
That's quite simple to a psychiatrist, George. You married Gracie because of a pronounced and ineradicable inclination toward the hedonic aspects of gastronomy.
What does that mean?
You like to eat.
I'll send Gracie right over.
And don't worry, George. I guarantee to make your home life just as happy as mine.
Thanks.
Now, Gracie, I want to question you about your child. Tell me, did your father and mother have differences?
Oh, yes. He was a man and she was a woman.
Not those differences. I mean, did they quarrel a great deal?
Oh, no. Mama loved Papa. At night, when she saw him coming up the walk, she'd stick a clothespin on her nose and run to the door and kiss him.
She stuck a clothespin on her nose?
Yes. Well, Papa worked in the fish market.
I appreciate the explanation.
Oh, they got along beautifully and raised the biggest family in San Francisco.
How many children did they have?
Well, I don't know. Mama never bothered to count them.
She didn't count them?
No. When school let out, Mama'd open the door, and when the house got full, she'd close it.
Gracie, would you like to lie down?
No, thanks.
You mind if I do? Thanks. Now, Gracie, husbands and wives do not have to take vacations from one another to be happy. Take my wife Gladys and me. We've never been apart.
And are you happy?
Extremely. You don't believe me? Ask Gladys. She's in the next room.
All right, I will. I want to be fair about this. Hello, Gladys.
Oh, hello, Gracie. Are you having a treatment today?
No, just a little chat with the doctor. He tells me that you and he are very happy.
Indeed, we are. Sigmund is such a wonderful husband.
Oh. Then you've never noticed how he picks at you and bullies you?
But he doesn't.
Oh, no? How long have you been married, Gladys?
12 years.
What? Listen, Gladys, you may not realize it, but your husband...
Well, Doc, how'd you make out with Gracie?
George, I guarantee to make your home life just as happy as mine.
And you did?
Yes. Our wives just left together for Palm Springs.
Oh, no. Gracie, you come back. You didn't go to Palm Springs.
Well, I couldn't leave you, Judge. I got as far as 27 Palms and turned back.
It's now 27 pounds? The last time you told me it was 28.
Yeah, well, I had a little hard luck. I drove through it again, and down went another darn palm tree.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Hans Conried, Verna Felton, Meredith Wilson, and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, as we join the Burnses today, we find them in a downtown department store taking advantage of the February clearance sale.
These clearance sales are wonderful places to save money, George.
Yeah, I guess so. What do you need?
Oh, just little odds and ends. Do you want to get some things for me while I look at bath towels?
Sure.
All right. Here's a pencil. Make a list.
Okay.
A sink strainer.
Sink strainer.
A paring knife.
Paring knife.
Pot holders.
Pot holders.
Floor wax.
Floor wax.
Mink coat.
Mink coat.
Potato masher.
Potato. Wait a minute.
Dish rag.
Wait a minute.
Paper towel.
Hold it. Dish rag, paper towels. How did a mink coat get in there?
Oh, you noticed it, huh?
Yeah, it was hard to do.
Oh, well, I thought if I buried it in the middle of the list, you might buy it before you realized it. Forget it, huh?
Forget it. I should say.
Well, is it all right if I get an old, beat-up second-hand mink coat?
Second-hand?
Well, I'll be about the 15th to wear it.
Who wore it before?
14 minks.
Gracie, I wasn't born yesterday. What do you take me for?
Mink coat, I hope.
Forget it. Now, let's buy those other items on the list. How many pot holders do you need?
14.
What kind?
Mink. I'll sew them together.
I said forget the mink coat.
Oh, all right.
Now, where shall we go first?
The fur department. I want to make a phone call.
We'll make it from here.
But up there, I can make it for nothing.
Really?
Well, sure, you get a free call with every mink coat.
Gracie, you're not getting me in the fur department. Now, let's get in the elevator and do the other shopping.
Going up. Step back in the car, please.
Oh.
Where are the kitchen utensils?
Kitchenware is on the 4th floor. Step back in the car, please.
We're packed in here like sardines now.
Yeah, and my back itches. Would you scratch it for me, George?
Sure. There. How does that feel?
Fine, only a little to the left, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the wrong bag. There. How is that?
Fresh.
Again, I missed.
George, my back still itches.
I'll try once more.
Oh, that feels wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome, lady.
You did it? Then whose back am I scratching?
Mine, and take it easy. Your nails are very sharp.
Start the elevator, will you?
Second floor, ladies' shoes, hats, gloves, and dresses. Going up. Third floor, ladies' fur coats.
Oh, I'm going to faint. Quick, George, take me off the elevator.
Faint on the next floor. That's kitchenware.
Oh, I'm passing out.
No, you're not. You're staying right here.
Sir, your wife has fainted.
Mind your own business.
Are you just going to stand there with an unconscious wife?
Why not? I've been doing it for 14 years.
You carry her off this elevator, or they'll be carrying you off.
Okay.
Try it piggyback.
Oh, never mind. I've got her now. One side, folks.
My goodness, what's happened?
This lady fainted.
Oh, where am I?
You're in the fur department. Shall I throw some water on you?
No, just throw a mink coat on me.
Okay, Gracie, you tricked me into the fur department. But you're still not getting a fur coat.
You're just in time to see our fashion show. The models will parade by here in all our latest fur creations.
We're not interested. We're just leaving.
And then they remove the furs and model dresses.
Sorry, we're in an awful hurry.
And then they remove the dresses and model lingerie.
I guess we could stay a few minutes. Have them hurry through the fur show.
Well, here comes the first model. This is lovely Siberia Kolinsky.
How do you do, Miss Kolinsky?
Kolinsky is the name of the fur.
Oh.
And here is a perfectly divine number. Note the full sleeves and extreme length. It took 12 beavers to make this coat.
Really? How long did it take them?
The beavers
contributed their skins.
Oh, well, it's beautiful. Oh, and it feels so soft.
Gracie, get your hands off that coat.
Oh, I just want to stroke it, George. I won't hurt it, George. I just want to
Take it
stroke
easy, Lenny. Take it easy. You know, this is awfully pretty. Maybe I was hasty about not getting you a fur coat. How much is this coat, miss?
Only $4,300.
Miss, you know that water you were going to throw on me?
Yes?
Well, you better throw it on my husband. He's fainted.
Now, Gracie, ever since we got home from the store, you've been after me for a fur coat. The answer is still no. Oh, now you're turning on the tears. I suppose I'm a brute. I suppose I treat you like a dog.
No, you don't.
Of course not.
The dog has a fur coat.
Will you stop?
Oh, everyone has fur but me. Cats have fur. Rabbits have fur. Even you have 3 hairs on your chest.
4.
Think of my health. Buy me a fur coat so I won't have to go around shivering in the snow.
It doesn't snow in Los Angeles.
Then buy me a fur coat and a ticket to New York.
I refuse to discuss it any further.
Well, I read in the paper about a woman who caught pneumonia just because she didn't have a fur coat. She caught pneumonia and died. Better have your black suit pressed, George. Marry again, but not too soon. Remember me a while. And George, take my insurance money and buy yourself a fur coat. I don't want you to go the way I'm going. Forget it, huh?
Forget it. Now go get lunch.
No. All right, dear.
What a woman I married. Oh, well. Better than going back with Bankoff and Gurley. Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson. Say, I wish I had some of that Texas oil money of yours. Gracie wants a fur coat.
Why, shucks, down home I got one for my wife, and it didn't cost me nothing. I just went out in the woods and shot some rabbits.
And made her a coat?
Yep, beautiful mink coat.
Mr. Judson, you can't make a mink coat out of rabbit fur.
These was Texas rabbits.
Oh, I forgot. Everything is better in Texas.
You bet your life. Yeah. Texas is better than the other 47 states put together.
I'm surprised you admit that there are other states.
Why, sure. Them 47 states are the USA.
Right.
The United Suburbs of Amarillo.
Mr. Judson, USA means the United States of America.
Yankee propaganda.
I guess so.
Now, you do what I done and shoot your wife a fur coat. Of course, it was easy for me because I'm a dead shot. I just drawed a bead and plugged that rabbit 4 times.
Well, if you're such a good shot, why did you have to plug it 4 times?
I done it a purpose. I knew I was going to make a coat out of it, so I shot in the buttonholes.
Now, take it easy, Mr. Judson.
Man, where I come from, that's just ordinary shooting. We got fellows in Texas can shoot the yolk out of an egg without touching the white.
Mr. Judson.
That's why they sent all the soldiers down there to be trained. During the war, that state was just full of happy sex.
Happy sex? Don't you mean sad sex?
In Texas?
I lost my head.
Hello, George. Hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, little lady. Say, I was telling your husband how I went hunting and got enough animals to make my wife a fur coat.
Why, that's a wonderful idea. George can do that, too. How did you get them, Mr. Judson?
Knocked them over with my Remington.
Oh, hit him on the head with a typewriter, huh?
Hit him on the head. Oh, I like your sense of humor.
Now, listen, Gracie. Just because Mr. Judson shot a fur coat for his wife doesn't mean I can do it.
Why not?
Why not? He's good. That guy can shoot a rabbit blindfolded.
Well, so could you if you saw a blindfolded rabbit.
Suppose I shot a couple of rabbits. Would you be satisfied with a rabbit coat?
George, I'd rather have a rabbit coat from you than a mink from Saks.
Really?
Can I have a mink from Saks?
No.
I'd rather have
a rabbit from you. I know. Well, thanks very much. Come in.
Hello, Gracie. Hello, George.
Oh, hiya, Dr. Miller.
Oh, Dr. Miller, I'm so glad you're here. You're a psychiatrist. Now, maybe you can reason with George.
What about?
Well, I could have a fur coat if he'd go out in the woods and get the rabbits, but he doesn't think he can.
Why, of course you can, George. It's the law of nature that man should wear the skins of animals because he's more intelligent.
Yeah, huh?
Certainly. That's why Gracie can wear a rabbit skin coat. If the rabbit was smarter than Gracie, it would wear a Gracie skin coat.
I never thought of it that way. A hunting trip might be fun. Would you come along, Doc?
Oh, I'd love to, George. I've got a wonderful shotgun. New automatic type. You just insert a magazine.
Oh, that is wonderful. You can hunt and read at the same time.
What are you thinking about, Doc?
I'm just wondering how a rabbit would look in a Gracie skin coat.
I see what you mean. Come in.
Hello, all.
Oh, hello, Meredith.
Hey, Mayor, would you like to go hunting with Doc and me?
Oh, you bet I would, George. As a boy back in Mason City, Iowa, I used to take the shotgun and head for the woods every Saturday with Sport trotting by my side.
Good.
I can still hear Papa's tender farewell. Be careful and don't shoot yourself, son. Those shells cost money.
Look, Meredith.
Would you like to hear an exciting thing that happened to Sport and me one day?
No.
Well, sir.
I thought so, yeah.
We were hiking through the woods. Sport was frisking about, licking my hand, when suddenly he stumbled upon a rattlesnake. With a startled cry, he yelled, "Meredith, save me from the reptile." Well, sir...
Wait a minute. Your dog said that?
Oh, Sport isn't a dog. He's my brother. Well, sir?
But you said he was licking your hand.
Yeah, I'd been eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Well, sir, goodbye. We'll go hunting, but
George, don't you want to hear the finish of my story?
Oh, no.
Very well. I'll plan on going hunting with you.
Good. And don't worry about shooting yourself. I'll pay for the shells.
Thanks. Goodbye, all.
Oh, go. What are you thinking about now, Doc?
There goes another skin for the rabbits.
Yeah, the rabbits are too up on us.
Well, perhaps we can even the score on this hunting trip, huh?
Well, why don't you invite Mr. Judson and Bill Goodwin to go along?
Oh, good idea. I'll bet that Judson's a crack shot.
Oh, not as good as George. I remember the time George went hunting with a bird dog, a pointer, and a setter at his heels, and a big sack over his shoulder to carry the game in. He only fired 3 shots, but when he got home, that sack was full.
What was in it?
A bird dog, a pointer, and a setter.
I can't understand what happened. I've got eyes like a hawk. Why, I'll bet I could shoot a hole right in the middle of that mouse hole. I bet I can shoot a bullet. I wouldn't worry, Doc. That's only twice today. I'll go and come in again.
Yeah.
I'll start it. Let me give myself 2 beats. 1, 2. I'll bet I could shoot a bullet right in the middle of that mouse hole.
Good.
What mouse hole?
There in the corner.
That's the fireplace.
I wrecked it, didn't I, Doc? Well, Doc, my car's at the garage and it's being tuned up. I'll go after it. You call the other fellow.
Your car's all ready, Mr. Byrne. Look at the way I tuned up that motor.
Swell. I'm going on a hunting trip this afternoon and I can... Wait a minute. You're the fellow who's been giving me trouble for weeks. You always had different job, and you always lost your temper.
Well, only because I was a poor, frustrated soul, pushed into jobs where I didn't belong by the fickle finger of fate.
I see.
But now that I'm a mechanic, I do things that really help people. Why, I ground your valves, and I scraped your carbon. If you want me to, I'll adjust your gasket.
No, my gasket is fine. I can eat anything.
I'm so happy with this job.
Glad to hear it. Let's have my keys.
Being a mechanic has taught me a lot about life, too. Life is a piece of machinery, and we're all parts of it. Some of us are cogwheels, some of us are spark plugs, and some of us are just nuts.
That you are.
I'm so happy with this job.
Please, the keys.
I've put this engine in tip-top condition. When you drive off, it'll surge with power.
Good. Let me have my keys.
You'll be able to pass everything on the road. You'll go by. You'll go by.
Okay. Now give me the keys, please.
I'm so happy with this job. I can see you now zooming along faster and faster. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Wait a minute. Driving that fast is very dangerous.
I won't drive fast. Give me the keys.
You might lose control. You'll skid. You'll go off the road.
I'll go 5 miles an hour. The keys.
You'll crash into a tree and be thrown out of the car. You'll land on your head and get a concussion.
I'll ride a bicycle. The keys.
You may recover, but for the rest of your life, you'll have blinding headaches. And all because the garage man made me tune up this motor.
I'll use a scooter. The keys.
Well, I want no part of it. I'll quit this lousy job.
Please, let me have the keys.
And give you a concussion? Never. I'll take my monkey wrench and wreck this motor. I'll rip it apart.
Hey!
Smash it to bits.
Oh, no.
There. I've kept you from having a headache. Bye.
Now, George, calm down. Bill says we can take his car on the hunting trip.
Oh, sure, George. I do lots of hunting in my car.
Where do you hunt, Bill?
Up and down Hollywood Boulevard.
But there's no wildlife on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, silly girl.
This is a different kind of hunting we're going to do, Bill. So for once, get your mind off women.
Well, okay, George. From now on, I'll concentrate on Mother Nature and the trees and the flowers.
Good.
Are you an outdoor lover, Bill?
Oh, yes. Not bad indoors, either.
Bill, can't you think about something besides women? Think about animals.
Oh, all right, George. I'll think about those soft little creatures running around in Griffith Park and... Oops, there I go again.
This guy is murder. Now, look, Bill, do you want to go hunting or don't you?
Well, I do, George, I do, but it's hard for me to forget women.
Oh, bother the women.
Don't suggest that. He'll never go hunting.
You're not kidding. Come in.
Come on, Mr. Judson and Meredith and I are ready.
Yeah, I'm hankering to do some shooting.
Me too.
Say, how about food?
We've got it. I told Gracie to put some real hunter's grub in these packs for us. Beans, bacon, and coffee.
Oh, nice.
Now, here are the sacks. Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
The sack I put the hot coffee in is leaking.
You made the coffee before you put it in the sack?
Well, certainly. You don't expect me to leave everything to the last minute, do you? All right, Bill.
Well, let's get going. I want to shoot some rabbits.
You think you can hit one, little man?
Oh, George is a wonderful shot. He can shoot from the shoulders or he can shoot from the hip.
Yeah. Can't wait to get out there and take a couple of pot shots.
Shoots from there, too, huh?
Come on. Let's go.
Oh, boys, you're doing fine. I've almost got my fur coat.
Yes, George is the only one who hasn't shot anything.
Well, watch this. There's a rabbit at the foot of that tree.
Oh, wonderful. Now I've got a hat.
A hat?
You knocked a bird's nest out of the tree.
Come on, let's move to another spot.
Well, You'll soon have your coat, Gracie. I got 5 rabbits. How many have you got, Doc?
7.
Meredith?
9.
Judson?
12.
George?
Oh, shut up. Gracie, George is becoming more and more depressed about his poor marksmanship. But I think I've got a plan to restore his self-confidence.
What is it, Doctor?
Well, you take the rabbits that the rest of us has shot and go around behind that big rock. We'll tell George that there are rabbits on top of it. And every time you hear him shoot, toss one over the rock.
Oh, and he'll think he killed it.
Exactly. I'll tip off the others and we'll all get started.
All right.
George, look, there's a rabbit on top of that rock.
Where? I don't see it.
It's there. Shoot.
Okay. Well, I'll be done. I hit it. It fell right at my feet.
Hey, there's another on the rock, George.
I don't see it.
Go ahead, shoot.
Okay. Again, I got one.
Yonder's another one, George. Same spot.
Where? I can't see it.
Never mind, just shoot.
3 in a row. Boy, I've got eyes like a hawk.
There's another one, George. See, right there.
Never mind, I can see it. Hey, I'm terrific. Bang, and I've got a rabbit. Another one? But I didn't even shoot. I just said bang. Wait a minute. There's something phony going on here. Bang, bang. I thought so. Who's behind that rock?
Nobody but us rabbits.
Gracie, come out from there, making a fool of me in front of everybody.
No, don't blame Gracie, George. We were all in on it to help.
Yeah, George.
Well, I don't need your help. You can all go home and leave me here, or you can all go and leave me here alone. I'll get my wife a fur coat.
Well, when will you be home, dear?
Well, I'm not leaving these woods till I shot something.
Well, at least come out in November to vote.
Never mind, just run along.
All right, dear. And whatever you shoot, I'll wear it. Oh, George, I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you.
Are you really happy with what I shot?
Oh, you bet I am, darling. I'll be the only woman in town with a cowskin coat.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With our special guest tonight, Kay Kaiser, yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Jerry Hausner, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
As we join the Burnses today, we find Gracie seated at the soda fountain at the corner drugstore.
There you are, Mrs. Burns. A double banana split with 6 kinds of ice cream, hot fudge, marshmallow syrup, maraschino cherries, nuts, and whipped cream.
Thanks, Al.
Now, what would you like to drink with that?
Oh, better make it grape juice. I'm trying to lose weight.
Okay.
Say, Al, isn't that Kay Kaiser heading over this way?
Yeah, that's the old professor.
Oh, my goodness, he looks like he's in a trance.
Well, he's been that way ever since his new baby arrived. He has to take care of it, and it keeps him up all night.
Oh, the poor man.
Let me have a milkshake, Al.
What flavor, Mr. Kaiser?
Cod liver oil. I mean chocolate. And pass me the nipples. I mean the straws. Oh, hello, Gracie.
Hello, Kay.
I hope you'll excuse my appearance, Gracie. I'm really bushed.
Yeah, you do need a shave.
I mean, I'm tired.
Oh, well, congratulations on your new baby, Kay. I'd love to see it. Brand new babies are so cute.
Yeah, they look like little wrinkled-up old men.
Yes.
That reminds me, how's George?
He's fine. Oh, and how's your beautiful wife, Georgia?
Well, Georgia's doing fine, but walking the floor all night with little Carol Amanda is sure killing me. Gracie, you know where I can find a good baby nurse?
No. All the nurses I know are grown up.
No, I mean someone to take care of the baby. Especially tonight. The doctor says Georgia can get out for the first time, and my sponsors invited us to dinner, but there's nobody to stay with the baby.
Oh, I wish I could do it for you, Kay, but this is my club meeting night. And, say, wait a minute. George will do it. He loves children.
He does?
Oh, sure, he's crazy about me.
Gracie, you've saved my life. I'm sure George will make a wonderful babysitter.
George, you know who I saw at the drugstore? Kay Kaiser.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He just had a new baby.
I know. Say, that reminds me, did you send the baby a present?
Yeah, I sent it a bottle of champagne.
Sent the baby a bottle of champagne?
Well, I heard they were going to christen it.
Gracie, that's not for christening babies. You would only send champagne to people who had a new boat.
Oh, George, how can you be so ignorant? People don't have boats.
What I was trying to say is...
Oh, no, well, that sounds silly. Mother and Canoe doing well.
What I'm trying to say is...
How would it sound for a mother to call the doctor and say, come quick, Junior's got barnacles?
What I'm trying to say
really,
is that...
Judge, for a man with no education, you can be awfully dumb at times.
Drop the whole subject. Kay Kaiser can drink the champagne.
Oh, and he needs it, George. The poor man is a wreck.
Kay? How come?
Well, he's been taking care of that new baby, and it's really got him worn out. You'd hardly recognize him. You know how he used to look?
Yeah.
Well, now he looks even worse.
That's impossible.
You feel sorry for him, don't you, George?
You bet.
Well, good, because...
Boy, there's something I wouldn't do for $1 million.
What?
Take care of a baby.
You wouldn't?
No, sir.
But,
Not
George,
me.
George, taking care of a baby would be easy. You don't even have to wash them nowadays.
You don't have to wash them.
No, they have baby laundry.
Well, still wouldn't like to take care of a baby.
Oh, shame on you. Don't you have any mother instinct?
No. I was an incubator baby.
I don't believe it. Your father'd never been happy married to one of those.
Go away and let me read the paper.
Meredith, I called you over because I need your help.
There's trouble, Gracie?
Well, yes. George is going to be a mother tonight, but he doesn't know yet.
Gee, we better rush him to the hospital.
No, I mean, I promised Kay Kaiser that George would take care of his baby. But George has no mother instinct.
Perhaps I can stir that emotion in his bosom if I regale him with a tender story.
Oh, I knew I could count on you, Meredith. Come on, he's in the den.
Hello, George.
Hiya, man.
George, would you like to hear the story of a baby I used to take care of back in my hometown of Mason City, Iowa?
Definitely no.
Well, sir,
why do you ask
me? That blue-eyed, golden-haired infant I wanted to tell you about. That infant and I spent many happy hours together playing patty cake, crawling around on the floor, or both of us riding piggyback.
How could you both ride piggyback?
We have very large pigs in Iowa.
Look, Meredith.
Well, sir, after I left Mason City, I often thought of that child, blossoming into blue-eyed, golden-haired womanhood. And I swore someday to return and make her my bride.
Oh, how sweet. Why didn't you do it?
There'd been a slight miscalculation. When I returned, the infant had blossomed into a blue-eyed, golden-haired fullback on the Iowa football team.
Is that all?
Yes, George. In my humble way, I've tried to show you the meaning of love.
Thanks. Now I've something to show you.
What is it?
The door.
Very attractive door. Oak, isn't it?
I want you to see it from the outside.
Well, if one side is oak, surely the other side must be.
Well, Meredith has got a point.
Yeah, you ought to wear a hat to cover it. Goodbye, Meredith.
Goodbye, all.
Goodbye, all. What a schmo.
Well, he didn't change your mind about liking to take care of babies?
No. What's all this talk about taking care of babies all of it? What? Don't tell me he's back. Come in.
Hello, George.
Well, Kay. Congratulations on that new baby. How's Georgia?
George is fine. I just dropped by to thank you.
Thank me? Oh, for the champagne.
Well, not only that, but for what
Kay,
you're going to...
tell us about your little girl. What school does she go to now?
School? Gracie, she's only 3 weeks old. She can't even crawl yet.
Oh, well, let her go on the bus.
She's still a little young, Gracie, but when she gets old enough, I'm going to send her to my old alma mater, the University of North Carolina, down in my home state.
Oh, well, I'm surprised to hear you're from North Carolina, Kay.
Why, Gracie?
Well, you don't talk like a man from the North. I thought you were from some southern state like South Dakota.
George, should I try to explain it?
Do you want to look like me?
No.
Then let it go.
Anyway, Gracie, I want my little girl to go to school in the greatest state in the Union, North Carolina.
Oh, look, here comes our Texas friend, Mr. Judson. I'll go fix some refreshments for her.
Okay, Gracie. Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Hello, Mr. Judson. Like you to meet our friend, Mr. K. Kaiser.
Happy to make your acquaintance, Mr. Kaiser.
Well, the pleasure's all mine, sir.
Say, you don't sound like a Californian.
I'm not. I'm a citizen of the greatest state in the Union.
Is that right?
Sure.
What part of Texas you from?
I'm not from Texas. I'm from the tobacco state, North Carolina.
North what?
Carolina. Don't tell me you never heard of North Carolina.
I never heard of no part of Carolina.
We're in a little trouble here.
Well, now, for your information, sir, there's a place down south where thousands and thousands of happy, industrious people live in an earthly paradise that stretches for hundreds of miles. And do you know what that place is?
If it was a little bigger, it could be Fort Worth.
George, will you tell him there really is a North Carolina?
Sure. Mr. Judson, Texas isn't the only southern state. There's North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia.
Well, now, maybe there is a North Carolina, but I bet it don't amount to nothing.
Don't amount to nothing? Why, man, North Carolina turns out 1 million bales of cotton every year.
That ain't enough cotton to keep Dallas in dish rags.
Mr. Judson, stop picking on Kay. The poor guy's worried enough now. He just had a baby.
You had a baby?
Well, I don't deserve all the credit. I had some help from Georgia.
I knew North Carolina couldn't handle it alone.
Well, listen, you long-eared, long-horned...
Hello, Mr. Judson.
Well, howdy, little lady.
Kay and Mr. Judson almost got into a brawl about Texas and North Carolina.
Oh, now, I was just joshing him. Now, to show there's no hard feelings, Mr. Kaiser, I'd like to send that new baby of yours a present.
Well, thank you.
Could she use a perambulator?
Oh, no, she's too young to make coffee.
She's too...
Sense of humor, man.
Hello? Hello, Georgia. This is Kay, honey. I'll be right home, and I got some good news. We can go to dinner with the sponsor tonight. Yeah, George Burns is going to stay with the baby. George Burns. No, he won't frighten it. Now, listen, you get yourself all putted up, and we'll go to
Say, Gracie, when Kay Kaiser left for home, he said he wanted to thank me for the favor I'm doing for him tonight.
Uh-oh.
What favor am I doing for him?
Favor?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah.
Doing?
Yeah.
For him?
Yeah, I'm doing him a favor.
Really? What is it?
That's what I asked you. Now, come on. What did you tell Kay I'd do?
Well, I guess I'll have to tell you. You see, he's got a radio program.
I know that.
It's sponsored by Colgate Palmolive Peter.
You mean Colgate Palmolive Pete.
I don't know him that well.
Let it go. What did you tell Kay I'd do?
Well, you see, Kay wants to make a good impression on his sponsor tonight, and that's where you come in.
Oh, I get it. He wants me to sing on his program.
Huh?
From time to time and every climb, blessings come from above.
George, look, that's not what Kay wants.
Oh, he wants me to swing it, huh? Boom, 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 down in the garden where the red rose grows. Oh,
George,
my
George,
beloved
George,
soul.
George,
Oh,
George,
oh,
George,
oh,
George.
What do you want?
You still don't understand what Kay wants.
Look, honey, with that orchestra of his, I'll give him anything he wants. He's got a fine group of musicians. Now, you run and press my tuxedo.
Well, I don't think you'll need your tuxedo.
Certainly I will. I'm gonna wear it tonight when I wait for him.
Well, all right. But you better wear an apron over it.
Oh, go on and have it pressed. Well, Kay, here I am, all ready to go to work.
Oh, that's swell. But, George, why the tuxedo?
For the job tonight. Makes me irresistible.
Yeah?
Sure. When I wear this, they drool over me.
Well, it's your tuxedo.
And now, Kay, about tonight. You better give me a few instructions. Do you want me to swing it?
Swing it?
Yeah, you know. Rock it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't rock it too much. Just burp it.
Burp it? Does Sinatra do that?
Certainly. And I wish I had a nickel for every one Crosby has burped.
I guess there are tricks in every trade.
Yeah, but tell me, George, do you mind doing this sort of thing?
Mind? I should say not. This is what I like to do. Kay, I'm tired of telling jokes on the radio. I want to make a change.
Well, brother, this is opportunity night.
Kay, it'll be a pleasure to do this for you. Believe me, you've got a mighty sweet little group.
Well, thanks, George. Maybe you'll have one someday.
I'd like to. Little group of about 8 or 10. Be quite a surprise to Gracie, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I guess it would.
Later on, I might increase it to 20 or 25.
You should live so long.
Naturally, I'd get permission from Petrillo first.
You would?
Sure. Didn't you have to get his permission?
No. Believe it or not, that's the one thing I didn't have to check with Petrillo.
What do you know?
Well, George, I hate to rush, but my wife and the sponsor are waiting at the Derby.
That's okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, it sure is wonderful of you to stay with the baby.
Oh, I'm good.
What? Gracie said you'd do it, but I didn't believe it till you showed up.
Gracie said I'd stay with the baby.
Well, I'm late. So
But,
long.
Kay,
I'm so long.
I'm all set to vocalize.
So is the baby. Good luck.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Ah, what a night. Nursemaid to Kay Kaiser's baby. Maybe she would stop crying if she thought I was a father. Evening, folks. How are you all? Let's dance. Let's be happy. Yet shut up. Come in.
Hello, dear. I brought Bill Goodwin over to cheer you up.
Yeah, cheer up, George. You've been wanting a new automobile.
What do you mean?
Here's the latest model Kaiser.
Nobody is going to steal that.
George, I just thought I'd tell a joke and cheer you up.
Well, you didn't do either one.
What a cute little baby. Oh, just think of the wonderful thrills life holds in store for her. Her first tooth.
Her first step.
Her first word.
Her first day at school.
Her first date.
Her first party dress.
And then the one great thrill that comes to every girl. That glorious moment she waits for. Dreams about.
Her first cup of Maxwell House coffee. You know, Maxwell House is the very best in coffee drinking pleasure, yet it costs but a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee you can buy. Hey, won't that be a thrill, baby?
But, Bill, I had in mind her wedding day, when she'd marry a wonderful man, one like I got. Won't that be a thrill, baby?
Wait a minute, what are you trying to do, discourage the kid? Oh, there, baby. You won't have to marry the bad old man. The only drip in your life will be Maxwell House. You know, baby, with thousands of brands to choose from, more people buy and enjoy Maxwell House than any other brand of coffee in the world. Yeah.
Bill, that baby can't understand a word you're saying. So you can stop telling it about Maxwell House.
Look, George, aren't you staying with the baby so Kay Kaiser can make a hit with his sponsor?
Yeah.
So don't louse me up with mine. And you know, baby, Maxwell House comes to you roaster fresh 2 ways now. In the familiar blue vacuum tin or in the new ultra vacuum glass jar. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah? George, this is really a cute baby.
Well, if you think she's so cute, maybe you'd like to spend an evening with her.
Well, you bet I would. I'll be back later.
How soon?
About 18 years. So long.
Well, this is great. Even at that age, they cry for Goodwin.
Well, goodbye, dear. I'm off to the bridge club.
You're staying right here and help me take care of this baby.
But, George, you don't need me. Look, here's a list of instructions Kay left for you.
Well, let's see what it says. 8 o'clock, baby's feeding time. Be sure nipples, rubber bottle caps, and strainer are thoroughly boiled.
Oh, my goodness. How can she digest that stuff?
You gotta dunk it first to soften it.
You think Kay Kaiser could afford to buy a cow and give his baby milk?
Gracie, the baby does get milk. The formula's right here. It gets acidophilus milk.
Well, I think it should have cow milk. You never know what an acidophilus has been eating.
Well, I'll read some more of the instructions. Be sure to keep the baby well powdered.
Well, now, if that isn't ridiculous, who cares if the baby has a shiny nose? Isn't that what you say, baby?
Now, listen, this is great. Between you and the baby, I'll go crazy. I'm going to call a professional babysitting service and turn the job over to them. Come in.
Hello. I'm the sitter from the babysitting service.
Well, you're right here on time. Hey, I know you. You're the guy with that terrible temper who's always quitting your job.
Well, that's because those other jobs were too hard on me. When I was a mechanic, I had to work with my hands. When I was a delivery boy, I had to use my feet. Now I'm a babysitter.
Well, come in and get to work.
I'm so happy with this job.
Well, I'm happy for you. How much do you charge?
Well, the fee is $1, but I'd do it for nothing. It thrills me to think that the babies I sit with may be the famous citizens of tomorrow. Governors, congressmen.
Well, here's your dollar.
Someday I may walk up to one and say, Senator, I was with you the first time you ever opened your mouth and put your foot in it.
Take the dollar.
I'm so happy with this job. Look at that precious little cherub lying there. So sweet, so innocent. And those toys beside her crib. The little teddy bear, the toy drum.
I see the drum. Take the dollar.
I'm so happy with this job. Thrill it must be for you to come home at night and see that little toy drum on the floor. Wait a minute. If it's dark, you might not see the drum.
I'll make it $2.
You'll stumble over it. You'll lose your balance. You'll crash to the floor.
$10.
You'll break your leg. You'll fracture your arm. You might even break your neck.
I'll throw in my tuxedo.
And all because that baby left its drum on the floor. Well, they can't force me to sit with this demon in diapers who breaks people's necks. I'll quit this stinking job. All right, I'll get rid of this drum.
No.
I'll break it.
No.
I'll rip it.
No, you'll
crush it.
You'll wake up.
I'll break it.
You'll wake up.
There. I've saved your neck. Goodbye.
Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the ball breaks, the cradle will fall.
Well, what do you know? My singing put the baby to sleep.
Oh, I knew your voice would do it, darling. When you sing, even grown-ups have trouble staying awake.
Oh, thanks.
When you open your mouth to sing, it's like opening a bottle of chloroform.
Thanks again.
Well, folks, I'm back. Did you have any trouble with the baby?
Oh, not a bit, Kay. George sang it to sleep.
Really? Can George sing?
Can George sing? That's like asking if Cougar can fight.
Yeah, Kay, I was hoping to sing on your program.
Give him a sample, Sugar Throat. Show him how you sang the baby to sleep.
Okay.
Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows. George! Hey, listen, boy. That key's good enough for me. Yes, sir. That key is good enough for me, boy. I'd like to sign you to a 5-year exclusive contract right now.
Oh, now, you see, George, and you thought I got you in trouble.
You mean it, Kay? An exclusive contract?
Yes, sir, George. From now on, you do all my babysitting.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Hans Conried, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find George glancing through the afternoon newspaper.
Say, look at this. Meat prices are still dropping. Pork is down, beef is down.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to worry, darling. You're married to a pretty smart little girl.
What do you mean?
Well, I saw this thing coming 10 days ago, so I stocked up before it happened.
Gracie, you didn't.
Yes, I did. They don't catch me napping. Let the meat keep on going down. We're set. I've got enough in our icebox to last us a month. Now, I got it right at the peak.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, sir. You gotta get up early in the morning to stop little Gracie.
Now she tells me. Look, Gracie.
And you know something
What?
I found out, George? businessmen respect a shrewd buyer. Now, this morning, Mr. Jones, the butcher, took me aside and he said, look, Mrs. Burns, steak is still dropping, but any time you want it at the old price, it's okay.
This is murder.
Murder. George, you don't sound very appreciative after all the money I saved you.
How do you figure you saved me money?
Oh, now, really, dear, surely you can add and subtract. Now, look, I spent $50 on meat.
Yeah.
I put it in our icebox.
Yeah.
Today, that meat is worth $30. Now, how much is 30 from 50?
20.
Well, what's that, hey?
But you didn't save 20. You lost 20.
Oh, Judge, pay attention. Now I'll explain it.
I'll explain it to you. Now, listen. 10 days ago, you spent $50 for meat. Today, you could buy the same meat for $30. Now, did you make money or lose it?
Oh, my, you're handsome today.
Don't change the subject.
I've never seen you look better.
Now, Gracie...
Compared to you, I'm a dog.
Don't think you could flatter your way out of this, young lady. Now, listen to me. I put up with your
Oh,
silly...
no, George, please. You mustn't get excited. Remember your appendix.
Appendix? Had my appendix out 10 years ago.
I know. Remember?
Well, there's no use talking to you. I'll see you later. Can't you do something for her, Dr. Miller? She'll drive me crazy.
Well, George, I started to psychoanalyze Gracie, but she called it off. Said she was afraid people might think there was something wrong with her.
I see.
Too bad, too. She told me some absolutely fascinating stories about her childhood. Did you know that at the age of 4, she played Haydn and Chopin?
Haydn and Chopin? That's amazing.
That's what I said until she explained it. That's a game where if you're caught Haydn and show your pan, you're it.
Haydn and Chopin. Might have known.
You know, George, this buying meat at high prices might have been influenced by her father. She told me how he failed in the meat business.
What happened?
Well, you know how some butchers put their thumb on the scale?
Yeah.
Gracie's father used to sit on the scale and hold the meat in his lap.
What a family.
Some very peculiar things happened to her parents.
I know. I married one of them. Do you think you can help her, Doctor?
Well, I can, George, if you can get her over here. Let's see. Does Gracie dream much?
Quite a bit.
That'll be the excuse. Tell her to come over and have me interpret her dreams. When I get through interpreting them, she'll be all straightened out.
Wonderful. And above all, tell her that she must never make a decision.
Leave it to me.
Doc, I don't know how to thank you. Here, let me pay you something.
Oh, George, please, put away the checkbook. I'm your neighbor. I know you too well to accept a check.
Well... Well, thanks, Doc.
Pay me in cash.
I thought
so. Where did you go, dear?
Oh, just out for a little fresh air. Say, Gracie, been having any dreams lately?
Oh, yes, I have, George, and such silly ones. I worry about what happens to my mind at night.
And I'm on the day shift.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh.
Tell me about the dreams you had.
Well, last night I had a real nightmare. I dreamt I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard with no clothes on. All I was wearing was a hat. Oh, was I embarrassed.
Well, I'll bet you were.
Sure, it was last year's hat.
Why don't you run over and tell your dream to Dr. Miller?
Oh, George.
That man will interpret it for you.
I wouldn't tell him a dream like that.
Well, you don't have to tell him you had it. Tell him it was someone else's.
Oh, but it's such a silly dream.
We all have silly dreams. Look at me. Last night I dreamt that I won a golf match with a one-legged kangaroo.
Oh, that is silly.
Oh, sure.
Oh, imagine you winning a golf match.
Yeah. Now, run over and talk to Dr. Miller.
Well, all right. It would be fun to know what dreams mean.
Sure, I'll see you later. Hello, Doctor. This is George. It worked. Gracie is on her way over to tell you her dreams. Yeah. Now, she'll pretend it isn't hers, but it is. Anyway, you know what to tell her. And pour it on.
That's right, Gracie. Just relax and tell me your dream.
Oh, this isn't my dream, Doctor.
Oh, sure. I understand. We'll just say it's the dream of a certain party, huh? Now, what was the dream?
Well, this certain party was playing golf with a one-legged kangaroo.
Golf with a one-legged kangaroo. Very revealing.
Really?
Oh, definitely. Gracie, the person who had that dream has the mind of a child.
Oh, Doctor, you're wrong.
No, wait. The person who had that dream also looks as young as a child.
Oh, boy, are you wrong.
But the person who had that dream is married to someone who is very wise and clever.
Well, that's funny. Now you're right.
And I'm right in the other things, too, Gracie. The person who had that dream should never make a decision.
Really, Doctor?
Absolutely. Any decision that person makes is sure to be wrong.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I promise you that person will never make another decision.
Come in.
Howdy, little man.
Oh, hello, Mr. Judson.
Say, I just got back from a ranch in Texas, and I'm a mite dusty. Could I run your vacuum cleaner over my suit?
Vacuum cleaner? Wouldn't it be easier to brush it off?
This is Texas dust. I want to save it.
I see.
Yeah, I like to put it on my face after shaving.
Like talcum powder?
Yeah, only this is softer.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it smells better,
It smells
too.
better, too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get out the Hoover.
Wait a minute. Your vacuum cleaner is a Hoover?
Yeah.
Then let it go. Texas is a Democratic state.
Suit yourself, Mr. Judson.
Yeah. Now, the reason I hurried over here direct from the train was to give you a chance to make some money.
How?
Well, I got a few cattle down home, and right now they're selling at bottom price, $50 a head. Now, you buy them today, and tomorrow you'll double your money.
Well, I said...
Well, naturally, I couldn't sell you my whole herd, but I could let you have a couple of million head.
Well, I might take 100 head. How do I buy the cattle?
Well, you just pick up the telephone and call Dallas, Texas. The number is Ecstasy 2400. That's my office.
Yes.
If it don't answer, call my ranch, Paradise 2400. Tell them who you are, and I said to let you have 100 head at bottom price.
Well, thanks a million.
Yeah, well, now you do it right away. Tomorrow, them steers will be put on the train for Chicago.
To the slaughterhouse, huh?
Yeah. They don't slaughter Texas cattle, though. They don't have to.
Why not?
Well, when them steers step off the train and see they ain't in Texas, they die of a broken heart. Well, so long, little man.
Thanks again, Mr. Judson, and goodbye.
Mr. Judson.
Yeah? Why, little lady, what you doing hiding here behind this bush?
Well, I have to keep an eye on my husband.
At his age?
Oh, absolutely. He's got the mind of a child. Tell me, while you were talking to him, did he make any decisions?
What? Yeah, as a matter of fact, he did. He decided to call Dallas and buy 100 head of steers at $50 a head.
$50 for one head? Oh, that's ridiculous.
What? But, ma'am, that's the bottom price.
Well, it's all right for a bottom price. That's the end with the meat on it.
That's the end with the...
Oh, I like your sense of humor, man.
Imagine buying 100 steer heads and paying for the bottoms. Well, Dr. Miller was right. Poor George doesn't know which end is which. Well, I've got to stop him. It may take drastic measures, but I've got to stop him.
Hi, Gracie. Hey, I'm going to make $5,000. All I have to do is call Dallas.
Put down that telephone, you philanderer.
Huh?
How dare you call another woman?
What other woman?
Stella Dallas.
I'm calling Dallas,
No,
Texas.
no, George, please, don't use that phone.
Why not?
Why not? Well, it must be left open for emergency calls, like calling the doctor.
But no one is sick. Gracie, what's gotten into you?
Virus X. Then call the doctor.
Oh, stop.
Well, then call the fire department.
The house isn't on fire.
Hand me those matches.
Gracie, cut that out. I'm going to place my call.
Oh, you can't, George. The phone's out of order.
Phone's out of order?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Hello? I can't talk to you now, Meredith. The phone's out of order. That silly Meredith Wilson calling up on a broken telephone.
Gracie, let go of the phone.
No.
I don't like to use my superior strength against a woman, but you force me to tear that telephone out of your hands. Now give me that phone. Please, Gracie, give me the phone.
No.
I said give it here, and I mean it. Oh. Now, you see, I dropped it. I just hope nothing happened to it. Oh, holy smoke. The phone is dead.
Oh, you murderer. You killed it.
This is too much. I'm going to take a cold shower. Then I'll go across the street to Jack Benny's and use his phone.
Well, I'll fix him so he can't use Jack Benny's phone. While he's in the shower, I'll take all the change out of his pocket.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Burns. I'm from the telephone company. Your phone has been reported out of order, and I'm here to fix it.
Wonderful. I can make $5,000 if I call Dallas before the... Oh, no. Oh, no. It's you again. The guy with the terrible temper. You'll wreck my phone.
Oh, have no fear, Mr. Burns. Now that I'm with the telephone company, I'm no longer a mad thing. I found myself.
If only you hadn't found me.
I'm so happy with this job.
Please, put the phone down. I'll use carrier pigeon.
Why, this isn't serious. I'll have it fixed in a jiffy.
Don't bother. I'll wigwag. I'll send smoke signals. Don't touch the phone.
I'll just tighten this screw.
I'll walk to Dallas. Forget it.
There. It's fixed. I have placed at your disposal the greatest miracle of science, the telephone.
Good. Now go.
I'm so happy with this job. Now, if you get a hot tip on a racehorse, you can telephone and place $2 on its nose.
But I never...
The favorite is Bangtail, but you bet on a long shot. Apple Blossom at 50-1. You turn on your radio and listen to the race.
But I never...
They're off. It's a Bangtail out in front, and Apple Blossom second by a nose.
But I never...
At the quarter, it's Bangtail by 2 lengths, and Apple Blossom third by a nose.
But I never...
At the half, it's Bangtail by 5 lengths, and Apple Blossom fourth by a nose.
But I never...
Coming into the stretch, it's Bangtail by 10 lengths, and Apple Blossom 10th by a nose.
But I never...
The winner is Bangtail by 17 lengths. You laugh, you cheer, you dance around the room, all because I fixed your telephone. I'm so happy with this job.
All right, now go.
You count your money. Yes. You're so... Wait.
Something happened.
Wait a minute.
Something. I know.
You bet on the other horse.
Oh.
You lost your $2, and it's my fault.
No, I didn't.
Well, I won't fix telephone.
No.
I'll quit this lousy job.
Now go.
Not before I remove temptation from your path.
No.
I'll wreck this telephone.
No.
I'll smash it. I'll rip it to pieces. There. I saved you $2.
Bill.
Yeah?
Can I call Dallas, Texas on your phone? If I hurry, I can make $5,000.
Oh, well, of course, George. My phone is right here, and you're welcome to use... Oh, excuse me. I'll answer that.
Oh, hurry, please.
Hello? Well, yes, this is Dimples. Why, sure, I love you, honey. I love you dearly. Who is it? Oh, Mabel? Hiya, Mabel. A date? Well, let me look at my date book and see what I have available.
What a man. Hurry up, Bill, please.
Mabel, the first night I have open is the 27th. Is that okay? Swell. That's November 27th.
Wow.
I'll see you then, honey. Bye. Now, George, I'll get that Dallas number for you right away. Oh, excuse me.
Well,
It's
hurry,
ringing
hurry.
again. Hello? Yes, this is Dimples. Oh, hello, Gladys. A date? Well, I'm booked up till November 28th, but you can have that. Okay, it's a date. Oh, no, honey, that's November 28th, 1949.
This guy is the male on a Turner.
Goodbye, Gladys.
Now, look, lover boy. Get long-distance operator, quick.
Okay, George.
Hurry up.
Hello? Long-distance operator? I want to call Dallas, Texas, and I want to... Yeah, this is Dimples. Well, Myrtle, how are you?
This is murder.
No, it's Myrtle.
Oh, it's my friend.
Yeah, Myrtle, get me Dallas, Texas right away. It's very important.
Hurry up.
You won't? Well, why not? No, Myrtle, I'm not calling another girl. Well, honest, honey, I swear I'm not.
I should have used Errol Flynn's phone. Give me the phone. Hello. Hello. This is George Burns. Mr. Judson said I could buy 100 head of cattle at $50 a head. So get the order in right away.
But Meredith, by the time I followed him to Bill Goodwin's house, he'd already called Texas. That's why I rushed over here to use your phone.
Well, I have Dallas on the phone for you now, Gracie. Here's Mr. Judson, secretary.
Oh, thank you. Hello, this is Mrs. Burns. Cancel that order my husband just made. Goodbye. I saved him again. I just can't let George make any decisions, Meredith. Dr. Miller says he has the mind of a child.
By Jove, now that you mention it, George has tried to interest me in his childish pastime. He has frequently said, Meredith, why don't you go fly a kite?
If you think that's childish, wait till you hear this. George has been cutting out paper dolls.
Paper dolls?
Yep, out of Esquire magazine.
Gracie, I've seen those dolls in Esquire, but the publishers made quite a mistake. They didn't print any paper dresses to put on them.
Oh, well, I guess George is too dumb to realize that. But that's nothing compared to the decision about Mr. Judson's cattle. All he wanted to buy was the heads.
No.
Yes. And he was going to pay the same price that Bottom Spring.
Well, that's ridiculous. Heads aren't even half the size.
I wonder what he wanted with them anyway.
Well, perhaps he wanted to hang them on your walls.
Oh, well, if that's it, I guess the heads would have looked better.
Poor George.
Yeah, we must be kind to him and try to make his second childhood a happy one.
Well, he's welcome to come over and play with my electric train.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a treat. During his first childhood, they didn't have electricity. Come to think of it, they didn't even have trains.
Say, here comes George up the walk now.
Uh-oh. Now, Meredith, don't tell him I canceled his order for those cattle heads. It would break his childish heart.
Have no fear, Gracie. My lips are sealed. Enter.
Meredith, have you seen... Oh. Well, there you are, Gracie. What are you doing here?
Just visiting, dear.
That's right. Just visiting, dear.
You both sound awfully guilty. I've got a hunch you're hiding something from me. Now, what is it?
That threatening tone will avail you nothing, George. My lips are sealed.
Yes. Don't let him scare you, Meredith.
No form of torture will persuade me to betray our secret.
Stout heart, Meredith.
You may boil me in oil, but I'll never reveal that Gracie called Dallas and canceled your order.
Attaboy, Meredith.
So that's it, huh?
What's it?
Gracie canceled my order.
Oh, you were eavesdropping outside, eh?
Yeah, I'm sneaky. Gracie, why did you do such a thing?
I did it to protect you, George. You see, you have the mind of a child and the body of a man.
I have not.
Well, it's practically the body of a man.
I didn't mean that.
Well, anyway, I told Dr. Miller your dream, and he said you should never make a decision.
You told him my dream? Holy smoke, I see it all now. Gracie, you're the one with the mind of a child and the body of a man.
Oh, George, you need new glasses.
Gracie, what?
Say, excuse me for busting in like this, but I've been looking all over for you. Did you buy them cattle, little man?
No, I didn't, Mr. Judson. You see, Gracie...
Well, let me shake your hand. You're a smarter man than I am.
Huh?
Cattle prices has went down again. You saved yourself a passel of money.
I did?
Yeah. How come you were so shrewd?
Well, I merely anticipated the market fluctuation.
Say, you're a financial genius.
Well, I wouldn't limit it to finances. I have an intelligent grasp of all complex situations.
Woo! Wait. Boy, you got a smart husband, little lady. Thanks to him, you ain't stuck with all that beef.
Well, I may not have any beef, but look at the ham I'm stuck with.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Toby Reed, Gail Gordon, Elliot Lewis, Hans Conried, Meredith Wilson and the Maxwell House Orchestra, and Bill Goodwin.
For America's Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie.
Well, tonight, Gracie is flying down to New Orleans, where she will be the guest of honor at the Fête du Chapeau, a festival of hats where the country's leading millinery designers will exhibit their loveliest creations, all in the interest of charity. We find Gracie excitedly packing for her trip as George says,
Gracie, do you need 6 bags? You'll only be in New Orleans 3 days.
Well, 4 of the bags are empty, George. I'll need those to bring back the new hats I buy. Huh?
Gracie, you're not going to New Orleans to buy hats.
Oh, but people will expect me to because I'm married to such a famous, successful man. Such a famous, successful, talented man. Handsome. Generous. No hats,
No
huh?
hats, no. Gracie, you got a whole closet full that you barely worn.
Oh, those old relics I bought last week. I should think you'd be ashamed to walk down the street with me, the way people talk about my old hats.
People talk?
Yeah, just yesterday I was walking along with you and I heard several people say, look at that beat-up old relic Gracie Allen's stuck with.
Maybe they didn't mean your hat.
Then what were they calling an old relic?
You got me on a technicality. But you can still forget the new hats. When you leave here, I'll give you just enough money for your airplane ticket and expenses.
All right, dear. I wish you could go with me.
Wish I could too, honey.
Since you can't go, let me take something of yours along to remind me of you.
Oh, that's sweet, Gracie. What would you like?
Your billfold.
I thought you were going to get sentimental.
Oh, I was, darling. And to prove it, you can keep the billfold. Just let me take the pictures of it. Huh?
You mean it? Just the picture?
Yeah, those little green pictures of Washington and Lincoln.
Finish packing your bag. Come in.
Hello, Gracie. Hello, George.
Oh, hello, Dr. Miller.
Hi, Doctor. Gracie, my wife tells me that you're flying to New Orleans tonight to be guest of honor at the Fête des Chapeaux.
Oh, that's right, Doctor. The Fête de Chapeau. I wonder what that means.
Well, translated literally, it means feast of hats.
I'm going to eat them?
No, Gracie. Your menu in New Orleans will undoubtedly feature fish, the favorite item of diet there. Incidentally, fish is considered brain food.
Eat heartily, Gracie. And without ketchup. Eat it straight.
You see, New Orleans is ideally situated for fishing of all types. There's the ocean, the rivers, and the tributaries, or as the French say, bayous.
Oh, I love those French words. George, let's hear you say bayou.
Bayou.
Now say a chapeau.
A chapeau.
Say them together.
Bayou a chapeau. Put my foot in it, didn't I?
Thank you, dear, I will.
Oh, no, you won't. Back to that again. We've been having quite a fight, Doctor, because Gracie wants to buy hats while she's there.
Oh, you know, George, if my training as a psychiatrist has done nothing else, it's taught me how to reason with that wife of mine.
Really?
Yeah, she wanted Gracie to bring a new hat back for her.
Well, how did you handle it, Doc?
Well, first I pointed out the psychological disadvantages of a new hat. It was nothing but an attempt at escapism, sure sign of an inferiority complex.
Is that so?
Then I concluded my argument with a dissertation upon the value of sunlight to the human scalp.
Why, now everything is settled, then.
Absolutely. Here's the money, Gracie. bring my wife a new hat.
Doc, you're a sucker. Gracie still doesn't get a new hat.
I guess the only thing I'll get in New Orleans is a southern accent.
You won't pick up a southern accent in 3 days.
How much y'all want to bet, honey child?
I guess you will. Come in.
Howdy, folks.
Hello, Mr. Judson.
Doc, you've met the fabulous Texas oil man, haven't you?
Oh, sure. Hello, Mr. Judson.
Howdy, Doc. Say, why all the suitcases?
Oh, I'm taking a trip, Mr. Judson, to one of the most glamorous, colorful, gay, and romantic spots in the world.
Well, what part of Texas you going to?
I'm going to New Orleans.
I don't recollect it. Must be one of the smaller Texas towns.
Mr. Judson, haven't you got maps where you come from?
Of course we got maps. They show the North Pole on the north, the South Pole on the south.
What's in between?
Texas?
New Orleans is in another state, Mr. Judson, but we do go through Texas. In fact, the plane lands in Fort Worth for a few minutes.
You mean the plane lands in Texas and then leaves?
Yes.
Well, now I know why they got 4 motors. They need all that power to drag them unwilling people away.
Well, while I'm there, I'll breathe in all the air I can. Now, if you gentlemen will pardon me, I have to pack my cosmetics bag.
Say, fellas, let's get up a little poker game for tonight.
Why, that's a right pleasurable idea.
Count me in.
And I'll call Bill Goodwin.
Yeah. Say, but don't invite that Meredith Wilson again. He don't know nothing about poker.
That's right. It's unfair to put Meredith in the middle of a bunch of expert card players.
Not only that, he always wins our money.
Hey, speaking of money, Mr. Judson, our game is strictly penny handy, so forget you're wealthy.
Wealthy? I only got 31 million.
I thought it was 30 million.
Yeah, well, now, I just got a letter from my wife. She's in a state of bliss.
She is?
Yeah, Texas. Well, now, this letter said we had little hard luck down home. My wife was walking across the backyard, one of her long French heels sunk in a soft spot, and up come another darned oil well.
You refer to that as hard luck?
It busted the heel off in her Sunday shoe.
I got a brother in Akron who'll be glad to fix it for $30,000. You use real leather. Say, fellas, while you're both here, will you help me carry Gracie's bags out to the car?
Oh, of course.
Woo! Them is sure pretty bags.
Thank you. Picked them out myself.
Well, here's my cosmetic case, George. That's everything.
Say, little lady, where did your husband get them bags?
From Worry, but they don't show with his glasses on.
From Worry, but here. Oh,
Say, I noticed Dr. Miller and Mr. Judson carrying out a lot of suitcases. I'll wager someone's going on a trip.
No. They're taking the suitcases out for a walk. They're not housebroken.
Oh, Meredith, he's only teasing you. I'm going down to New Orleans for a few days.
New Orleans? Oh, splendid.
And while I'm gone, I hope you'll keep George company and see that he has a good time.
I'll deem it a veritable pleasure.
Well said.
George, tomorrow night, how would you like to attend a meeting in my club? The Pasadena chapter of the Society for the Advancement of Flute Playing and Bird Stuffing.
No, thanks. I couldn't stand the excitement.
Well, will you two boys excuse me? I have some last-minute things to see to.
Certainly, Gracie. Really, George, I'm sure you'd find my club quite interesting. We have one talented member who can play the flute while stuffing a turtle dove.
Well, it's tempting, you know. Continue talking.
Well, to achieve this remarkable feat, he fills his mouth with sawdust, sticks his flute down the turtle dove's throat, and blows humoresque and sawdust at the same time.
Look, Meredith, don't worry about me having a good time. I've got plans. That reminds me. I got to make a phone call.
Hello, Dimples, Goodwin speaking. If you want a date, honey, I'm all booked up till 1950.
Take it easy, Dimples. This is George Burns.
Oh, hello, George. Pardon my natural mistake.
Sure. Look, Gracie is going out of town, and I thought we might get together tonight.
Oh, you mean a poker game?
Yeah.
Oh, count me in.
Swell. See you tonight. So long, Dimples.
So long, Wrinkles.
Excuse me, Meredith. I've got something to do in the den.
Gee, Gracie was afraid George would be lonesome while she was gone. I must tell her the good news about his girlfriend, Dimples.
He called a girl named Dimples? Oh, Meredith, this is terrible.
It is? Well, I thought you'd be delighted that he had arranged to banish dull care.
Oh, not with another woman, Meredith. Oh, but I might have known. All men are exactly alike.
Well, some are taller than others.
I mean, men are no good. You show me a bad husband, and what'll he be every time? A man.
By Jove, now that you mention it, you're absolutely right.
Well, that's life.
What's life?
That.
Oh, that's life.
Yeah. Remember what Shakespeare said?
Yeah. And remember what Benjamin Franklin said.
What did Franklin say?
I don't know. What did Shakespeare say?
I don't know. But whatever they said was right because they were very smart men.
Yes. Too bad they're dead.
Well, that's life.
What's life?
That.
Gee, I love these deep discussions.
Me too. But it's so seldom I find someone who's my mental equal.
Me too.
But Meredith, this is a time for action. I've got to win George back from that gold digger Dimples.
Well, Gracie, how do you know she's a gold digger? Maybe she's attracted to George just because of his tremendous sex appeal.
Yeah. Oh. Ah, you're cute.
Thanks.
Meredith, I'm going to fight fire with fire. So George likes gold diggers, huh? Well, here goes gold grabbing Gracie.
Yeah, Gracie. What do you want?
Everything you got, golden boy.
Golden boy?
You're my 24-carat daddy, and I'm going to melt you down.
I don't understand you.
You don't have to dig me, Daddy. I'm going to dig you. Open your mouth. I want to see your inlays.
What for?
I'm panning for gold, and your pan is loaded with it.
Gracie,
I know I can take you because I'm gold-grabbing Gracie, the Yukon kid.
Yukon?
Darn right I can.
Oh, stop playing. I haven't got any gold.
I'll take anything you got. Give me your insurance money.
You can't get my insurance. I'm not dead.
And give me a kiss.
That I'll give you.
You know something? I can get your insurance.
Come on, get out of here.
Did your gold digging win him back, Gracie?
No, Meredith, she doesn't seem to go for that type. So I guess Dimples isn't a gold digger.
Perhaps she's the beautiful but dumb type.
Oh, I don't think George would be interested in a dumb girl. Still, he might. Maybe he's tired of my type.
Well, it's worth a try to win him back.
I'll do it, Meredith. If he likes him dumb, I'll go in there and pretend to be dumb. This'll take some acting.
You again? Look, Gracie, I'm worried about you. You don't seem normal. What's wrong? Oh, thank goodness you're normal again.
I'm not normal. I'm acting. I thought you'd love me if I was dumb.
I do.
But not as much as you love Dimples.
Dimples?
The girl you're going to see while I'm in New Orleans.
Gracie, Dimples is Bill Goodwin.
Oh, come now. Why would anyone call him that?
Because he's got dimples.
He's got a head, too, but they don't call him Hetty.
Look, Gracie.
He's got feet, but they don't call him Tootsie.
Bill has got a lot of girlfriends, and they call him Dimples.
He's got a lot of fans, too, and they don't call him Fanny.
Well, what's the use? I'll call him up and have him explain.
Well, that's the way it goes. Man meets a beautiful, seductive girl with a lovely face and a gorgeous figure, and what does he do? He leaves her for somebody named Dimples.
Gracie, Bill Goodwin is on his way over. He'll tell you he's the Dimples I talked to on the phone.
Oh, a likely story. Well, I won't be here. I'll be in New Orleans. Meredith is waiting to take me to the airport.
Gracie, will you wait?
On one side, you Townsend Plan Timberwolf. And stop growling at me.
That was the door buzzer.
Oh.
Thank goodness. Come in.
Hi, Burnses. Hey, George, why the hurry-up call?
Bill, Gracie doesn't know who Dimples is.
Oh, yes, I do. Dimples is an irresistible blonde heartbreaker with the most terrific figure in Hollywood.
And you said she didn't know who Dimples is.
Look, Bill.
Oh, Bill, George lied to me. He's living a double life.
Gracie, George is barely living a single life.
Look, comic.
I just can't believe that George would tell a lie. He was named after George Washington.
Shortly after, I'd say.
Look, comedian.
You don't understand, Bill. George is fickle.
Fickle?
Yes, I thought he had only one true love, but while I'm gone, he's planning to... Oh, I can't say it, Bill.
Well, you don't have to, Gracie. Who's that?
That's Meredith.
Gee, his flute playing has improved.
Well, I'm off to New Orleans.
Wait, Bill, don't let her go until you've straightened this out. Who's Dimples, please?
Well, mine do. I told you that.
She's gone. Quick, we'll get into your car and chase her to the airport.
Well, George, my car's at the garage getting Carmen removed.
Carmen? You mean Carbon?
No, this is a girl named Carmen. She refused to get out.
Come on, we'll grab a taxi. We've got to catch Gracie.
Okay. Step on it, driver.
Yeah. We've got to get to the airport before my wife takes off for New Orleans.
Don't worry, Mr. Burns. I'll get you there.
Good. How did you know my name was Mr... Oh, no. No, it's you again. The guy with the terrible temper.
No longer, Mr. Burns. I did get upset by the other jobs I had, but driving a taxi has settled me like a dose of bicarb.
I hope so.
I'm so happy with this job.
Well, good. Now just get us to the airport.
Driving a taxi is very instructive, too. For example, the other night I picked up your friend, Mr. Goodwin.
Oh, say, that's right. I remember you now. What was instructive about picking me up?
I have a mirror up here, and you had a girl back there.
Oh, I see.
I'm so happy with this
The airport. Hurry.
Oh, I won't fail you. I'll whiz around the corner.
Yeah, go fast.
I'll weave in and out of the traffic.
Weave in, yes.
I'll even go through red lights.
Right through.
I'm so happy with this job.
Good. Just keep weaving.
I'll get you there as
Right
sure as...
Through the corners.
Wait a minute.
What? Something happened? Why are you stopping?
If I go through a red light, a cop might catch me.
I'm dead.
He'll make me stop, and you'll get impatient.
No, I won't.
You'll give him an argument.
Honest,
You'll
I won't.
start yelling at each
Just
other.
keep going.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Says you.
Says you.
Hey, your father's mustache. You can't talk that way to a policeman.
I didn't say
He
anything.
pulled you out of the cab.
No.
Punch him in the nose.
No.
He arrests you for striking an officer.
I didn't.
Well, the cab company can't make me turn a man into a criminal.
But I
I'll
didn't.
quit this stinking job.
First getting to the airport.
And ruin your whole life? Never. I'll wreck this cab.
No.
I'll smash the
No.
windshield.
No. No step on again.
I'll get out and puncture all the time.
Let's go. We've in.
There's one. There's two.
No.
There's three.
No.
And that's the last one. There. I've saved you from prison. Bye.
Well, if this isn't a pretty mess.
What are you kicking about, George? He made you a celebrity.
Huh?
Now you're the walking man. Let's go.
American Airlines flight number 312 departing in 3 minutes for Fort Worth with connections to New Orleans. Passengers now loading at gate 3.
Gracie, wait a minute. We hitchhiked all the way over here to explain things.
Yeah, Gracie, I pulled up my pants leg and an old maid picked us up.
I have nothing to say to you, wolves.
But, Gracie, I can't let you go like this.
Oh, don't worry about me, George. Two can play at this butterfly game. I'll have fun in New Orleans. I'll sew a few wild stitches, too.
But look,
Oh, I can see myself now, sitting at a bar, smoking a julep. And sipping a tall, cool Creole.
Creole? I've never had that drink.
Munching on a bag of octoroons.
Look, Gracie, you've got to
And
let...
now and then, just for laughs, I'll give myself a hot foot.
A hot foot?
I'll burn my sandal at both ends.
Not that.
I'll be the belle of New Orleans, and then when I'm no longer a raving beauty, say in 50 or 60 years, I'll throw myself in Canal Street and drown. And they'll bury me in Pettersfield.
Pottersfield.
Pettersfield. I've really lived. And besides, what do you care? You don't love me. That's why you wouldn't give me money for hats. You want to spend it all on your girlfriend, Dimples.
There is no girl named Dimples. To prove it to you, you can have all my money. Here's $65. Every bill that's in my wallet.
Got any change?
Yes, here. You can have it all. 54 cents.
I still hear a jingle in your pocket.
That's my keys.
Well, hand them over. I'll huck them.
Gladly. Now will you believe that Bill Goodwin is Dimples?
Well, sure, I believed it the first time you told me.
Why all the fuss? What did you do it for?
$65.54.
Oh, to get the hat. Gracie, be sure to get back from New Orleans in time for our next Thursday show. Our guest is going to be Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor? Eddie Cantor? Oh, Ida's husband.
Yes,
oh,
Ida's husband.